Mama, you are joined now, only kept to translate. You mentioned 90, ma'am, 27. You also put.
So I request to participants, please introduce Sachin Bhusari sir. Who is this participant? You can unmute themselves. आज किसको असाइन किया है टास्क?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Roll number 2.
Yes, roll number 2.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I guess Dr. Sachin Bhusari sir is here. Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to the FDP. Giving you a short introduction about the resource person for the day. It's my immense pleasure to introduce the distinguished guest, Dr. Sachin Shivling Bhusari sir. Dr. Bhusari sir is an accomplished academician, researcher, and innovator serving as an assistant professor for University Department of Chemical Technology at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, where he has been contributing to teaching research since 2009. He also heads the Center for DMPK Studies, leading cutting-edge research in drug discovery and development. He holds a MPharm and PhD from BITS Pilani. Along with a postgraduate diploma in clinical research, his research expertise spans preclinical drugs development, traditional systems of medicine, analytical and bioanalytical methods development, pharmacokinetics, formulation development, and biochemical assay development. Dr. Bhusari has made significant distributions to pharmaceutical sciences with 126 research publications, a book, two book chapters, three grant Indian patents to its credits. His work has attracted sustainable research fundings from prestigious agencies including ANRF, DST, CSIR, DBT, UGC, and RGST, supporting projects worth several crores of rupees. Throughout his career, he has received numerous honors, including recognition through the National Facility of Bioanalysis, the DST Fast Track Scheme for Young Scientists, and the CSIR Senior Research Fellowship. A gold medalist in pharmacy education, he has consistently demonstrated academic excellence and leadership. Beyond research, Dr. Bhusari actively contributes to academic governance and innovation through his service in various university boards, research committees, and industry academia initiatives. Please join me in warm welcoming Dr. Sachin Shivling Bhusari sir, whose expertise and contributions continue to advance pharmaceutical research, drug development, and translational science in India. Without taking ado time, I would request sir to please have your session. Thank you,
Thank
sir, once
you.
again.
Thank you for nice introduction. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much. I am audible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
And
Thank
the
you very
screen is
much.
also audible, sir.
Thank you very much for your nice words. I may not have that kind of significant contribution, but thanks for the introduction. So let us start with today's session. So for today's morning, I'll be engaging you people for two sessions, morning as well as morning first half and second half. In morning first half, I'll be discussing with you regarding patents, and for second session, I have planned for the human health. So first is a bit technical session, so that's why I kept it purposely at the start. So all of you can enjoy and you can actually gain something out of these lectures. So I welcome you all for this today's session, all the participants. So now the first session, that is Patent Canvas of India. This is the title for today's first session, Patent Canvas of India. So for this session, I will be discussing with you people regarding patent system of the India, patent system of the India. And it is not only a canvassing of the patent. Basically, through this session, you will literally understand how to make it. Basically, patent filing, when it comes to practical applications, everybody thinks that it is quite challenging. Yes, of course, it is challenging. Unless and until you know the technical backgrounds, it becomes challenging. But after this session, you will easily understand that it is not so hard also. If I can do it, you also can do it. Okay. So let us start with this patent canvas of India. So for today's presentation, this is the scope of presentation. So we'll be discussing about the intellectual property rights. So under that introduction, types of the intellectual property rights, and more specifically about the patents. And when it comes to discussion of the patents, I'll be discussing with you people regarding criteria for patentability, types of patent applications, requirements for filing patents, patent filing procedure, and patent database search. Uh, Last so many years, I am talking to large canvas of audience regarding patents, and I'm sure this session also will give you the idea about the patents, and everybody of you will have a ability to do it by your own. So just listen carefully. We'll take the question session at the end. Okay. So question session we'll take at the end. Thank you. Now let us start. Previously, this slide is very classical slide. Basically, if you observe it, so there is one picture at the left hand bottom, and there is one more picture at the right hand top. Previously, do you know about money gaining or to earn the money? It is something like muscle power. What you can say is working hard and hard physical exercise, and you can earn the money. Okay, so it is something like working hard and to get the money. But now it is not the scene, basically. It's quite old way to exercise yourself very hardly for earning the money. Now it's a smart work. That's why it is conventional versus non-conventional. So new way of getting the money, new way of getting rich is to use your brain power. And today's session will let you know how to use your brain to earn the money. Okay. So this is one more aspect of my lecture wherein somebody of you may practice this in his or her career and get good money. So apart from old scenario, now it's a world of talent, world of intellectual things. So by using your brain, you can earn the money. So non-conventional way of doing it is to use your brain effectively. And now the question is how to do it. So let us start. Intellectual property rights. So when this term comes into picture, intellectual property. So first of all, one should know what is intellectual property. Property, all of us, we know. Property means we know car, bungalow, then our assets, okay, land, fridge, TV, all these are assets, properties. So now intellectual property, what it means and how it is different from these examples which I explained just before. So it's a creation of mind. You apply your thought, you apply your brain basically, and come up with something new, such as inventions, literary work, artistic work, designs, symbols, names, and images. The most important part is in commerce. That means whatever these things are, that should be applicable in commerce. That means for doing the business. So intellectual property means simple way to understand it is, see, right hand side, bottom figure, creation of mind, that is bulb. And that is the exact way of simulating it, intellectual property. So you create it by your own brain. So there are various formats. Yes, we are going to discuss it. So intellectual property is creation of mind. Clear? So now when it comes to intellectual property, what are the characteristics? So there are typical characteristics of the intellectual property. If you look into the second point of slide, you will find that there are three classical characteristics which are explained there. So first is it is an intangible asset. That means non-physical. That means you cannot see it. It is just on paper. Okay, but it is a biggest property. Uh, I'm telling you right now, the most, what you can say, the worth thing in this world is your intellectual properties. All the world is actually governed by this intellectual properties. So it is intangible asset, which is you cannot see it. Basically, it is on just paper, non-physical form. That is the first characteristic. When it comes to second, it has a key to techno-economic growth. So what is the meaning of this term? Basically, by using your intellectual property, you can trigger your techno-economic growth. That means you can earn the money, you can develop the technology, you can earn the money simultaneously. Techno-economic. And the third characteristic of this IP is it is territorial in nature. What it means basically, in a simple way, location specific. That means if I have a property, if I register that intellectual property in India, so that will be applicable for India only. Country specific, you can say. Territorial means location. That means for intellectual property, it is country. These are the three classical characteristics. Now, intellectual property, you gained it, you prepared something, you wrote some poem, you have a song which can be given to any picture. So now, how to earn the rights of that? That is more important. Okay. Now, up to this point, what we were discussing was about intellectual property. Now, how to gain it, how to gain the rights, how to secure the rights. So there are various formats of these rights. See the second last point, you will find that it is through patents, copyrights, and trademarks. These are the various formats in which you can reserve the rights of your intellectual property. Correct? And the last point, it is monopoly for a specific period of time. When it comes to property, intellectual property, a specific certain period has been allotted. For that period, that property remains with you, and it is monopoly means exclusive. Only you can practice it. And that is the most important part. That's why you can do the business, you can earn the money, you can recover the cost. Okay. So now I hope everybody is clear about intellectual property and intellectual property rights.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. So I hope everyone is listening to this. Okay, thank you. So next part, need of the IPR. Once we understand what is intellectual property and what is intellectual property right, now question immediately comes in mind, why do we need it? That is more important because human mind is so tricky. Whatever we do, it is for some specific reasons, correct? So that's why for IPR also, what is the need? So these are the 5 points which can explain this need of the IPR. The first and the foremost important need of the IPR, why you want to secure the right is safeguard the rights of creator. The classical example of this is if you are a drawing person, if you draw good pictures, so at the corner you write something, your shortcuts of your name or symbol or something. Why? It is simple. You want that everybody should know this drawing belongs to XYZ, correct? So rights of the creator. The IPR will safeguard your rights. If you register that intellectual property and get the rights, then it will be on your name. Property will be on your name. Like Sadbara, whatever you can say, like in today's world. Okay. So safeguarding the rights of the creator, that is the first need. Second, it helps in doing the business. Now, second part is again very important, how it is basically. Intellectual property, you can sell it out. You can transfer, you can sell. So it becomes easy to do the business. In exchange of that, you can get the money. It is kind of business, correct? Now, third part. What is the third need? It is economic growth. Actually, IPR is needed for economic growth. If you reserve the rights of your intellectual property, it will trigger your economic growth. Obviously, you are doing the business. That means in exchange, you are getting money. So this is the third one. Now, fourth, another important need of the IPR is facilitates the transfer of technology. Now, just think that you have idea in your mind for a water purifier. Say suppose somebody is from engineering background from your group and he has or she has the technology to filter the water in a simplest way. Correct. So now you want to transfer this technology. If you directly tell this secret to somebody else, he or she will mimic it immediately and go into market without knowing yourself. So it becomes very disastrous. You lost your property rights. So what is to be done? First, reserve the rights of your intellectual property and then transfer this technology to somebody who can do the business. Most of the time, last 20 years, I am in research and teaching. We all are teachers. It is very difficult for us to become an entrepreneur. Correct. I'm not saying it is impossible, but it is bit difficult task. So what is to be done? We invent something. We transfer this invention to some commercial platform, some commercial industries. They can produce it, they can sell it because they know how to sell it in the market instead of us. So this transfer of technology is quite possible if you have IPR. Okay, I hope all you understood. And the last is encourages innovation. It is very simple. It gives you the money. Money will trigger the economic growth, your facilities, and that facilities and economic growth in return will encourage the innovations. So these are the five classical needs of the IPR. Without that, it becomes very challenging for anybody to survive in the market. Now, the third part of this is we understand the IP, IPR, what is the need of the IPR. Now, what are the formats of the IPR? The fourth question that comes in with mind immediately, sir, you're telling us about these intellectual property rights for last 10 minutes. So now, what are the different types of the intellectual property rights? So this slide classically explains the types of intellectual property rights. See, the first, the foremost important is patents. Everybody is very fascinated towards this patent. It is very fascinating word for everybody. What is patent? How it is? Some of you might have earned this patent. I am not denying it, but patent is quite a lucrative word for all of us. We as a researcher, I am talking in terms of researchers. The second is trademarks. Third is copyright, trade secrets, geographical indication, and industrial designs. So these are the six classical formats of intellectual property rights. We are going to discuss it one by one. This slide is just to make you understand what are the core different types of intellectual property rights. Okay. So patent, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets, geographical indication, and industrial designs. So now, what is protected?
FIP FIP कोर्स चालू आहे ह्याच्यावरती FIP उचल का नाही
Roll number 22. What is protected under what? Please mute your mics, every participants. I have a request for you. Please mute your mics. It's a kind request to all of you. Now, just to understand the different formats of the intellectual property rights. So when it comes to patent, patent is there to protect the product, process, and new applications. So if you want to protect your product, process, or new applications, the right format for the intellectual property is patents. So you should go for patent filing. If you have a unique product, if you have a unique process, isolation, purification from the natural sources, okay, even synthetic pathways for designing new drugs, or even one existing drugs having a new application. So if you want to secure the rights for this invention, you have to go for patent filing. Okay, that is the first part. Now, when it comes to design patent covers the outer shape, contour, configuration. That means what you can say is morphological characteristics. So design patent covers this. Now, there are so many brand names, logos. You see, Tata is having typical logo. Yes, Renault is having typical logo. Mercedes-Benz is having typical logo for the business. Even brand names are there. If you register these logos, brand names under registered trademark, then it becomes your own property. No one else can use this brand name or logos instead of actually without your permission, nobody can use it. That needs your permission. That is first part, and it is non-transferable also. Okay, so trademark. And now, second last, trade secret. This is one of the formats of intellectual property rights. But if you ask me really in a real sense, actually no company shares the trade secrets to any government agencies like intellectual property offices. These trade secrets are always kept at their offices. Now, question comes in mind, what kind of trade secrets are there? So there are few examples I wrote over the slide. Client list, formula for a product, You have something like new processes, your marketing strategies, purification techniques. There are so many things which you can keep it as a trade secret. So Coca-Cola is the classical example wherein no one has right now information about the formulation of the Coca-Cola, that liquid. So everybody is saying that Coca-Cola is having trade secret, formula trade secret. Yes, of course it is there. And there are so many pharmaceutical companies, even food companies, they have their trade secrets. Okay. But generally, trade secrets are not basically registered. Basically, these are kept in their own offices, away from other people. Limited access will be given to that trade secrets from the company side also. And the last is copyright. It is music, art, play, poem, whatever you generate through your mind. If it is in the format of music, art, play, poem, then it is not patented. It goes under copyright. So there is typical sign, C in the circle, copyright. R in the circle, registered trademark. C in the circle, copyright. Okay. So if you write a poem, if you have a play, if you have something like artistic picture, or even music, creation of music, that goes under copyright. So these are the classical 5 different formats and the description of these formats. I hope I'm making you understand. Okay. So now little bit deep inside this once again, because previous slide explains it theoretically. Now this slide explains the different types of property, intellectual properties in terms of pictures. So it becomes very easy to understand, huh? Correct? So see, right side, top corner, you will find that there is a trademark, Apple. This is a trademark which Apple only can use, nobody else, because this has been registered by the Apple company. So for all their commercial products, this logo will be there on the products. So that comes under trademarks. That means a logo that you use for your business purpose. Correct? Now, left side, top. There is typical fan structure with these 4 blades, typical design on that. That comes under industrial design. If you register this design, unique design, nobody else can do it. Apart from you, nobody can use it if you register it. So outer shape, contour, that comes under industrial design, typical design part. Now, one more important part. In the center, you see the Coca-Cola bottle, classic Coca-Cola bottle. The best part of this slide is this Coca-Cola bottle, because there are 3, 4 different types of intellectual properties actually, which are hidden in this. Now, you can easily see. Outer shape, you can easily find out the Coca-Cola bottle from the long distance also. Why it is possible? It is because of the typical design of Coca-Cola bottle. Correct? Okay. So this is the industrial design. It comes under industrial design. Now, the way that Coca-Cola is written on the bottle, you will find that it is a trademark basically. No one can have this actually signature style of writing Coca-Cola that has been registered. So nobody can use it. Okay. Now, third intellectual property, which is again there in Coca-Cola, is your trade secret, because formula is unknown. No one knows how it has been prepared. Okay. So industrial design, trademark, trade secrets. There are so many things which are involved. Apart from this, there are 2 figures, classical figures at the left bottom and right bottom. This is one of the formats of intellectual property that is called GI, geographical indications. That means these are the products which represents that particular zone, region. The example, classical example is Tirupati Laddu. If you call Tirupati Laddu, it is Tirupati Laddu only if this Laddu is from Tirupati, because it will bear some bare minimum characteristics of that Tirupati Laddu. Again, same is the case with Kolhapuri Chappal. So Kolhapuri Chappal is having a typical design. Just from distance also you can find it out. It is not a normal chappal, it is a Kolhapuri chappal. Shape, contour shape. So it is a GI, geographical indication. So there are so many things which are coming under the geographical indications. Okay, but these are the classical examples. That's why I explained. It becomes easy to understand. Okay, so now is it clear? So you know what is trademark, what is patent, what is industrial design, then trade secret, geographical indications. So one by one, again, we'll discuss as time permits. Yes, we'll discuss. So now, The next part that comes again in picture. So up till this part, what we were discussing was about intellectual property rights, need of the IPR. After that, what are the different types of the IPR? Among that, we discussed five, and beyond that, we tried our best to understand various formats of IPR through pictorial representation. So now another point that comes in mind that, sir, last few minutes back you said that this is for limited period. What it means? So this is the slide which actually explains this part. Actually, the validity of the IPR. Property belongs to you, no doubt, but this property will be with you for some certain period. So now it depends upon what intellectual property you secure. Okay. So first part, if you secure any patent in India, basically even worldwide also 20 years is the lifelong, what you can say, maximum period. One more thing which I would like to explain on this point onwards, this slide onwards, my discussion will be limited to Indian scenario, Indian continent only. Okay, Indian country or India, only India. So for patent, the protection is for 20 years. That means after registration, once you register your patent, once you apply, technical word, once you submit the application, priority date starts from that application. And from that, next 20 years, this patent will be with you. Okay. So maximum protection for you is 20 years. So what it means basically, that simply means that this is the maximum period, allowable period, which is given to you by the government of India. Why it is given? Within these 20 years, no one can use your patent for the commercial benefits. That means you are exclusively present in the market. That means that technology will remain with you only. That means you can sell that technology as per your own convenience in terms of money. That simply means that you can recover your R&D cost. It's very simple. This period has been given to you to do the business, to recover the cost. But after 20 years, this will go into public domain and that patent will belong to public. Then everybody can use that patent data and go for the business. Okay. The technical hitch in this patent is renewal is very important. Every year, it is a mandatory to renew the patent every year. And this process has been governed by the Indian Patent Act 1970, amended in 2005. Now, the important part, why renewal has been given. Renewal has been given to every, it is made provision that every year you have to renew it, because patents are meant for business only. If you file a patent, if you even secure a patent, and if you are unable to do the business, then it becomes waste, little bit waste. Every year you have to submit your fee. Fee structure is there. I'm going to show that fee structure also. And it is a bit huge cost. So unless and until you do the business, it's of no use. So if you go for patenting, so 20 years is the maximum protection period, and then every year it is mandatory to renew it. And you know the Patent Act 1970 has a provision. Okay, it has been clearly stated in Patent Act. So now, apart from patent, so there are 4 different types of intellectual properties. So the most important for humanities languages is 4th number, that is copyright. People lot many times ask me about the copyright, information about the copyright. So copyright is given to you for 60 years. After registration, 60 years is the period validity of this copyright. So renewal is not necessary, not required. It is not required at all. Once you register, this copyright will be with you, and it is governed by Copyright Act 1957, amended in 2012. Then beyond that, trademark is there. If somebody is doing some business by using some logos, again it is lifelong. Lifelong protection is given to trademark because it is a business affair, core business affair. But every 10 years, you have to renew it, trademark. And that comes under Trademark Act 1999, amended in 2010. For design patent, the maximum protection is 15 years. you may be getting confused. At top, I am talking about patent, and at the third line, I am calling it as a design patent. Basically, to make you understand, it is design only, but we call it as a design patent to make ourselves understand. It is a format of patent only, a part of patent only, design patent. So after 10 years, for next 5 years, you have to renew it, and it comes under Designs Act 2000 and Design Amended Rules 2014. And the last, geographical indications. It is regional, local, area specific. Lifelong protection is given. Every 10 years you have to renew it. And that comes under Geographical Indication of Goods Act 1999. So, what is the understanding of this all exercise? For every intellectual property, there is certain period which is allowed by the government of India, for how much period you can enjoy the legacy of exclusivity alone in the market. Okay. So for patent 20 years, copyright 60 years. You write a book, take a copyright, enjoy. Then trademarks lifelong, design 15 years, and geographical indication lifelong. Correct? So now after understanding this whole part, the main game changer comes in picture. Sir, who is doing it on our behalf? I, as an inventor, if I invent something, which is the backbone, which is the machinery, which actually governs these activities. So for that, you must know the organizational structure of this intellectual property governing mechanism. Up till now, I am just talking in a generic way, governing mechanism. So Government of India has a Ministry of Commerce and Industry, that is a separate ministry. And under this ministry, there is a Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. The new name, after so many years, there was a change in this, and this is the new nomenclature, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. And the Patent Office comes under this Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. And that's for this patent office, we have a Controller General of Patent Designs and Trademark, just like Controller General of Drugs, FDA, Food and Drugs, DCGI, Drug Control General of India, Drug Controller, DCGI. Just like that, we have a Controller General for this patent design and trademark. Under that fellow or controller, so there are 4 sectors. One is Patent and Design Office, second is Trademark Registry, third is Geographical Indication Registry, and fourth is PIS, Patent Information System. Government made it so nice. Just by visiting that PIS, you can understand in detail about every intellectual property. I'm going to talk about that also. So let us see first the Patent and Design Office. So all over India, there are 4 offices which are located at different locations of the India. One is extreme right, Kolkata. Extreme left top is Delhi. In the central India, it is Mumbai. And at the south, it's a Chennai. So these are the 4 core offices of patent and designs: Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. All these offices are involved in trademark registry also, but there is one more additional office which is given for trademark registry, that is in Ahmedabad, additional office. Beyond that, for GI registration, only Chennai office works for GI registration, GI indication registration. And the 4th arm, what I was talking about, is PIS, that is Patent Information System. Fortunately, that is in Nagpur, Maharashtra. Again, it is a central India. That location has been selected. I think it has been selected because it is central India. Okay, so that will be easy for everybody. Previously, all the affairs related to the patent office were in the offline mode. Previously, long back. So now it is typical online. So previously, it was a matter of a place, Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, to reach to that particular offices. But now it is online. So I think that time, because of the locations, they allocated the offices at different regions. So in a similar format, they might have allocated the Nagpur as a PIS, Patent Information System. That Nagpur office actually has typical website, and if you visit that website, you will find all the details of all the intellectual property rights. Every detail will be there. Even PIS, they have these training programs also. If you want to get acquainted with this patenting, so you can do some courses from the Nagpur PIS system. Okay. So this is about the organizational structure of patent office. So now the hardcore part starts. Up till now, this last 7 to 8 slides, it was typically something to make you understand how the topic is and how to understand it, what are the basic informations. So now let us start with this patent. So yes, of course, uh, first of all, the most important part as a teacher that comes in our mind is there any definition of the patent? Can you define the patent? Yes, of course. So this is the definition of the patent. So you would be surprised, sir, what you are showing. There are 4 pictures at the 4 corners. There is circular mechanisms. There are 7 different sectors. So is it a definition? Yes, of course, it is a definition. So the first part, a grant of exclusive right, exclusive, unique, only for you, those who are registering. A grant means to give. A grant of exclusive right against what? For an invention. What you invented. For that, it is a grant of exclusive right for an invention. Who gives you? By the government. Government gives you. To whom it is given? To the inventor who actually invented, researcher. For how much period it is given? For a limited period, that is 20 years. Now we are talking about patents. Keep this thing in mind. Okay. So for 20 years. Now for that, what is to be given in exchange for full disclosure of invention? That means whatever invention is there, you have to disclose that invention to the government of India. So I'm going to talk about this funny part of this. And then what it is going to give you to prevent others from selling, making or using the invention. So this is a complete definition. A grant of exclusive right for an invention by the government to the inventor for a limited period of time in exchange of full disclosure of invention to prevent others from selling, making or using the invention. So now question comes from, maybe question come from audience, sir, it is a patent. We are trying to protect the data and you are saying that exchange that data with the government of India. My dear participants, once you register your application, the priority date on your name starts from that point only. So nobody can snatch your patent, nobody can snatch your data from this point onward. Okay. And you have to exchange the data because this data will be published, okay, on the website for the global platform. Why? Everybody should know what is the invention and who is trying to secure the rights. There are so many things. If that invention is from anybody else, so he or she can take the objection. It's a public domain, correct? So that data is published by the government of India on the website and it is purposely kept there for 18 months. I'm going to talk about that period line also afterwards. And after that, there is evaluation process. So exchange of the data, that means you have to share the data to the government of India. Full disclosure, that means every corner of your invention should be disclosed. Correct? Okay. So I hope everybody understood the patent definition. Okay. So these are the 4 pictures which actually belongs to this patent. Okay. One more engine is there, DSLR camera is there, ejection seat of the ejection seat of the aircraft, and of course the formulations, tablet capsules. Yes, that comes under this patenting formula. Okay, most of the new drugs, APIs that comes in market. So they enjoy the legacy of this 20 years of period. One more example I would like to explain here for the pharmaceuticals. Uh, when drug second session is also on the drug development only, so that time also I'm going to talk, but for formulations I would like to mention here that one drug came into market for this treatment of urinary tract infection. So that time, the cost of per tablet was 63 rupees. So 630 rupees per 10 tablet was the initial cost. And now, do you know the cost of that drug? Norfloxacin. So that now within 10-15 rupees, 10 tablets you can get it, because this norfloxacin is out of patent now. Anybody can prepare it and anybody can sell it. So now see the difference. If it is patented, we have to spend 63 rupees per tablet. If it is out of patent, within 63 paisa, you are getting the tablet. Okay. So this is the difference of the patent and the commercial activity. So now next part. After understanding the patent, it becomes necessary to understand the history of the patent. What is patent law? How it came into picture? What was the initiation point? Because unless and until we understand the history, it becomes difficult to grab the topic, to understand the topic. So see the legacy of the Patent Act in the India. So left side corner, year is there mentioned, and the events are there in the right column. So 1856. Actually, that time Britishers were there in India. So the Act for Protection of Inventions on the basis of British law. So it was there in India, but that was based on British law. So 1859, patent monopolies called exclusive privileges came into picture. And 1872, Patent and Design Act was launched by the British government in India. 1883, Protection of Invention Act. 1888, Invention and Design Act. 1911 and 1947, Modern Patent Era by Patent and Design Act. So first time the authority called Controller General of Patent appointed. See the Controller General appointment 1883 in a British rule. After that, after our independence, we actually took the whole scenes, and in 1959, Justice Iyengar was appointed to study this Patent Act, and he submitted his report. That after, based on that report, in 1967, Patent Act bill was introduced in the Parliament. That was approved in the Parliament. 1970, the Patent Act was passed by the Parliament, and in 1972, basically after 2 years, the Patent Act 1970 came into picture, which was enforced in April 20, 1972, after 2 years of the approval. So in 1994-99, there were amendments. In 2003 and 5, Patent Act 1970 with second amendment came into force, and then 2005 amendment came into picture. So 2005 is the last amendment in the Indian Patent Act. So what it is called, Patent Act 1970 and amendment 2005. So now again the typical part. Lot many times wherever I go for the lectures or online or offline, people used to ask me the same question, sir, how do we know that my invention is patentable? How do I know that this is patentable? Or else I can do the patent, I can register the patent. So you have to test your invention on these three criteria. These are the three classical criteria. Actually, technically, Section 2 defines it, the patentability. Section 2 of India Patent Act 1970. So subsection I of Section 2, subsection JA of Section 2, and subsection AC of Section 2. These are the three subsections, I, JA, and AC, which defines it very clearly whether how to identify the patentability. So the first part, if your invention is novel means not been anticipated, have been visualized by anybody before you. This is the first time you are doing it. Nobody has actually visualized it. Nobody has anticipated it. Nobody has predicted it. Not in thoughts, not in documents, specifically not in documents. Thought, it is okay, but for documents. So invention which has not been anticipated by publication in any document or used in the country or elsewhere in the world before the date of application. That is the first criteria. If your invention qualifies this novelty, you will get the patent. Now second, inventive step. If your invention is not novel, suppose it is not novel, but it has some technical advancement in the existing knowledge, yes, again it is patentable. So that comes under inventive step. So invention that involves technical advancement as compared to existing knowledge. Section J, subsection JA of section 2 and subsection AC of section 2, invention capable of being made or used by the industry. So that means you have to ask yourself only 3 questions: whether my invention is novel, whether it has inventive steps, or whether it has industrial applications. Technically speaking, first two criterias, in that either your invention will have criteria 1 or 2, but the third one, AC of section 2, it is mandatory. The invention should be of commercial importance, then only patent will be granted. Otherwise, no grant will be allocated to you. So patentability, how to search the patentability? Only 3 questions: whether it is novel, inventive, and industrial applicability. Correct? So apply these 3 actually criteria to your research work and just let you know by yourself whether my work is patentable or not. So now, next part, which is not patentable. More important part is, sir, you told us about patentability. Now tell us about what cannot be patented. See the section 3. Section 3, A, B, D, H, I, J, K, I, O. So all this. Invention which is frivolous, that means no use. You have invention, but it's of no use. You cannot get a patent. It is not patentable. The invention which is harmful to the humans, you cannot take the patent of atom bomb, machine gun, okay, hand grenade. You are not supposed to. Actually, if you apply also, you won't get the patent because these are the harmful things to the human beings. Then mere discovery of new use or new form of the known substance that does not have the enhancement in the known efficacy. You have some invention, but it is not inventive. It is not adding something else in the existing knowledge. You cannot get the patent. Method of agriculture, horticulture, that you cannot patent it. Then medical procedures, angiography, angioplasty, these are non-patentable procedures. Open heart surgery, kidney transplant, liver transplant, okay, treating the fever, treating the skin diseases. Any process for the medicinal, surgical, curative, prophylactic, or other treatment cannot be patented. Otherwise, it would have created the havoc in the world. Okay. Then plant, animals, other than microorganisms in whole or any part, you cannot patent it. Mathematical formula or computer program or algorithms. Just a minute. For computer program and algorithms, now last 7 years, there is little bit actually advancement in this. Some of the softwares are eligible for the patenting. Some of the softwares are now eligible for the patenting. Now artistic work, music, dramatic, and literary work cannot be patented. Why? It won't come under patent. It will come under copyrights. So don't go for patent, go for copyrights. Topography of integrated circuits, morphological characteristic of the circuits, chipsets, that cannot be patented. And the most important, section 4, atomic energy related inventions cannot be patented. That's why you won't find any patent of atom bomb, even thermal plants, clean energy plants, atomic energy plants, sorry, atomic energy plants, not thermal. Let me correct myself, atomic energy plants. So now, types of the patents. So up till now, we understood little bit. There are some ambiguities in your mind, maybe like, sir, tell us more about design patent or industrial design or something like utility patent or plant patent. So I'm going to explain it. When it comes to design patent or industrial design, it is ornamental design configuration. Basically, outer contour is registered. Improved decorative appearance and shape of any invention. These are the four typical parts for the industrial design. Just think that somebody is having an Apple phone in his or her hand. You can easily pick this is an Apple phone. Why? Why it is possible? Because Apple phone is having a typical shape and that trademark. So that's why ornamental designs or structures is a peculiar characteristic, and that comes under industrial design. there is something like concept called utility patent. Every patent is utility patent. I'm telling you, without utility, you cannot patent it. But sometimes people used to talk about utility patents. Any new invention or functional improvement in the existing inventions that comes under utility patent. Plant patent, as I said, you cannot directly take a patent of any plant, but new variety of asexually reproduced plant that can be patented. That is available. That provision has been there, but that should be a new variety, and that too asexually reproduced plant. That only you can patent it. Now, types of patent applications. So now typical part starts of practicals. How to do the practically how to do it. Okay. Up till now, theoretical plus your existing polishing your existing knowledge. So now how to do it practically. So there are 6 different applications. That means the formats in which you can apply for the patent. One is ordinary application. Second is convention application. Third is PCT international. Fourth is PCT national. Patent of addition and divisional application. So I will explain one by one. Ordinary application, that you can do in the 2 different ways, provisional as well as complete specification. So now, sometimes all of us are the researchers in our laboratory. There are situations wherein we got the idea, you click that idea has been clicked in your mind, but you still need some time to develop it, but you don't want to lose the priority. So as soon as you get the idea, you submit the data for the patent. So that is provisional specification. That means your invention is not fully matured. You know that is it has been invented by you. So it is called provisional specification. There the requirements are less. The second format in which you can go for ordinary application is complete specification. That means you invent something, do your homework, complete it, and then you submit it. Okay. So ordinary application. Ordinary application can be made by either individual person or a company organization. Both the parties are actually allowed, either a person or a organization. Now convention application. Convention application is something like you are applying for patent in India and simultaneously you want to apply in any specific foreign country. Any foreign country. So that application will go as a convention application. So the best part is first application date is suppose 1st December, and your second application for the America goes in 12 December. So it will not be a 12 December priority. It will be 1st December because you applied in the convention format, convention application. Okay. So priority date will be India's priority date, 1st December. Now third is PCT applications. Patent Cooperation Treaty. Now, just brief about this Patent Cooperation Treaty. All over the world, 158 countries had made actually came together and they formed that one unique organization. And there is clear-cut understanding that if somebody wants to apply for a patent all over the world, so among 158 countries, just by single application, you can apply for the patenting in all countries at a time. That is called international phase application. So you become eligible for 158 countries at a time by just single application. Now, what is national phase application? Under this PCT, if you go for specific countries, not 158 countries, because it's costly affair. Again, so you want to go for selective 3-4 countries. So there you can go for PCT national phase application. Now, fifth is patent of addition. You have existing patent already with you, and there are some improvements and modifications. Over the period of time, your R&D is telling you, yes, these are the new findings. So how to add it? So go for patent of addition in the existing patent. And the next is divisional application. That means if you have patent, but you want some clarification to be given to the audience, to the public. So what is to be done? You can apply for the divisional application. So you can clarify your invention through this divisional application. That will not be a separate patent. That will be a part of first patent only. So now I think I made all of you clear about this ordinary application, convention application, PCT phase, international, national, patent of addition and divisional application. So now what are the stages? So these are the 5 stages: filing of the patent, publications, examination, opposition, and grant. So filing, there is a typical process for filing the application. There are various formats. So now this is something like technical, legal. So when it comes to legal, every researcher is afraid of legal formalities. I don't know why. Don't afraid. I did the 3 patents by my own through my department, actually in my department, by my own hands. So it is very easy task. Just understand the process and do it. Government of India has actually made this process so simple. We should be thankful to Government of India. Last 10-15 years, last 15 years, that process has been become so smooth, easy. You don't need any attorney if you know the process clearly. Okay, because I'm not against the patent attorneys, I'm not against the patent offices, other patent offices, private authorities who can support for the patent filing, because the charges, it becomes very difficult to bear the charges, basically, if you are an individual applicant. Okay, so it is quite huge to seek a help from the others, because you have to pay them. You have to pay them for your legal procedures. So filing is the first part. After filing, it goes into publication that will be published on the website for 18 months. After that, there will be examination of your patent. Through examination, there will be some reports which will be generated from the patent office. It will come to you. You have to answer it. Then, if by chance there is opposition, somebody is taking the objection, this patent belongs to me, he is doing it, actually he stole my data, that happens. You know the classical case of I think Apple and this Samsung. So Samsung has to pay huge amount to Apple because of this legalities, tampering of the patent. Apple proved that that patent belongs to Apple. So Samsung has to pay a handsome amount to Apple. That was the very famous case. And at the last, once everything goes smoothly, you will get a grant. So now, who can apply? As I said, first inventor, assignee, or legal representative. This is online process, and this is the jurisdiction of 4 offices. Not going to read it. Okay, Mumbai office, Chennai office, Delhi office, and Kolkata office. Okay, so Mumbai typically Maharashtra, Gujarat, MP, Goa, Chhattisgarh. For Chennai, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Union Territories of the South. Then New Delhi, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab. This is the jurisdiction area, but now all the process is online. So there is no actually importance for this jurisdiction area. Only thing is you can understand the locality, but that's all. Because if you are a Maharashtrian, if you belong to Maharashtra, you apply for patent, definitely your patent application will go other than Mumbai office. It will either go to Chennai, New Delhi, or Kolkata. For me, my application went to Kolkata office, and 2 applications went to Chennai office. That happened. Okay. So it will go out of your jurisdiction. So now what are the requirements of the patent filing? See, so there are 6 different formats. Form 1 is very important because it is an application for the grant of patent, proof of right to make an application. That is Form 1. Form 2 is a provisional and complete specification with full disclosure of the invention if you have complete specification. You need Form 3, that is statement and undertaking regarding foreign application. As I said, PCT and all. If you want to go for, one more thing. You have to apply for the patent in that country where you want to do the business. Okay. So Form 3 is for foreign application. Form 5 declaration as to inventorship. Who is involved in this patenting? So Form 5 is mandatory. Form 9, request for publication. Now onwards, you have to request government. After submitting your documents, you have to submit a formal request. Please publish my document. After that, please examine my document, Form 18. So this kind of applications has to be made to the Government of India, Indian Patent Office. And Form 26, if you assign your role to somebody else, power of attorney. So Form 26 should be there. On your behalf, that legal entity will defend your patent in the Indian Patent Office. That provision is there. But you have to apply through Form 26. Apart from this, there are 5-6 different requirements. One is convention application if you are eligible. So certified copy you need. Abstract of invention drawing. Fee of that application. Every application is actually associated with some fee. That fee has to be paid through online mode. And the most important part, you need a digital signature class 3. Digital signature class 3. That is costly affair, 4,500 rupees for 2 years validity. But that is mandatory. Without digital signature, you cannot submit your application. So now this is form 1, how it looks like. So if somebody is there, so you can visualize basically applicant reference number is there, applicant names are there, type of application. You have to tick whether ordinary, convention, PCT, left corner, left side, center, then category of application. So this kind of form 1 has to be filled. Okay, first part. Then this is form 2, provisional and complete specification. Why I'm showing you these forms basically because the more you get acquainted with these forms, then it becomes easy to fill the form, to correct the information, to make it possible to launch your application in the Indian Patent Office. Form 2 is there. This is form 3, statement and undertaking under section. So section is given. Then this is form inventorship, form 5. Yes, of course. Then form 9, request for publication. As I said earlier, you have to apply, you have to give a formal request. Then form 18, form 26. Now, provisional and complete specifications, I explained. I'm not going to discuss. Now, I will just try to explain provisional specifications. Provisional specification is a title, written description, drawing, and sample model. But what is the advantage? Provisional, that means priorly you do it. So for provisional specifications, if you go for provisional specification, you get a priority date. Your business date starts at the particular part, at the particular point, at the date at which you apply. Then you get extra time to develop further invention. Then once you register even provisional specification, you can disclose that information to somebody else. There is no actually threat to your data. Nobody can snatch now data because it is already registered. Okay, then commercial feasibility can be explored.
अडचणीचं आहे की नाही बघा बरं. आणि कशी मुलं येणार मॅडम किंवा काय मुलांचं कोण काय असेल तर किती अवघड आहे. त्यामुळे मुलं यायला काय हे करतात. हिज
Participants, somebody is talking,
हिच
please
झालंय
mute your mic.
तिचं नाही टीबी मला वाटलं तिचे स्पीकिंग येते डॉक्टर प्रतिभा पाटील.
प्रतिभा kindly mute yourself.
प्रतिभा मॅडम
केलं का म्यूट? थँक्यू. अजून आवाज येतोय. ओके, हा. So you get extra time to develop that invention. Then you can disclose it to somebody else because there is no threat to your data. Commercial feasibility is you can access, you can explore, because now you are free to exchange your thoughts, exchange your invention to commercial firms. And if you find that this invention is not of that much worth, you can stop that. So next money that you try to invest will be saved. So you can actually reduce the further expenses. So this is the advantage of provisional specifications. So now this is a very important slide of the presentation. This is the complete canvas of any patent. What are the parts and how the information flows. Take an example of one patent. So one single patent will have this different segments. The first segment, title of invention, field and background of invention, use of invention, prior art, comparison, then object, summary, statement, detailed description, working examples, claim for legal monopoly, and abstract. So now, before going in detail, just try to understand there is one dark gray area, prior art in the said field of invention and its drawback. The most of the patents will get killed in this area, prior art in the said field of invention. Most of the inventions go into dustbin basically because of this prior art. Now what it means? Prior art means the invention and the background of the invention and existing data. Prior art means existing data related to your invention. Most of the time there are strings. linkages of your invention in the past data, and that kills your patentability. So prior art should be very clear. There should be no string of your invention in the prior art. That means existing data. I'm going to explain that. There are three green areas: use of invention, object, and claims for legal monopoly, because these three sectors are very important as far as patent is concerned. Your use of invention should be very clear. You should mention it very clearly. If you write that invention application very clearly, application means use of that invention, there are more chances that you may get the patent granted. Okay. Second, object of the present invention. It is typically like a objective of our research proposal. All of us are researchers. We try to write as clear as possible, objectives as clear as possible, so that you can achieve the aim, correct? So objective is very important. And the third important part of this complete specification is claims for legal monopoly. Technically, patent grant means it is not only a certificate. There are claims. That means there are scientific writings which are grant to you. Okay, so these are called claims. So let us start with the title of invention. Most of the researchers, most of the inventors will design the title in such a way that that title itself is a self-explanatory. Correct? For research articles, we do it in the same manner. But unfortunately, for the patenting, people used to write the titles which are not so clear. Why? There is mischief. Why? No one wants that just by reading the title, the audience should open the patent. Unfortunately, it is a commercial affair, correct? So everybody wants to hide that. Everybody wants to hide that. But those who are very clear, those who know their invention very well, those who know it is a very genuine invention, don't worry, write the title in a very crystal clear manner, so that just by reading the title, your patent attorney can understand, aha, this is the invention, correct? So title should be very clear. Next, field and background of the invention. It is something like introduction to our research paper. So field and background of the invention will cover the information as well as introduction information in the research paper. So clear? Now third is use of invention. Where you are going to use that invention? What is the possible application of the invention in the area? That is to be mentioned. For example, if you develop one tablet which is sustained release, so you should mention it very clear that it is a sustained release tablet which will relieve the pain for next 16 hours. Diclofenac tablet you develop for the arthritis. Just consider the example. So this is the way by which you should write it in a clear manner. Now prior art means, I said, literature review, just like our research paper. So literature review, in literature review, if they find that your invention is partly reported, then this is a killing document for your invention. So prior art, before submitting the document, read out the information round and around of your invention. So literature survey, for research work, literature survey, we use it in a different manner. For support, we use it in publication. That kind of support is not expected in patents. Okay, so prior art should be very clear. Then comparison between prior art and present invention. Now next portion, gray portion, where you have to show how your invention is superior than existing information. That is comparison. That is to be written. Object, I talked about this, spoke to you. Now summary of the present invention. There is a brief write-up of your invention, summary. Say 2-3 paragraphs you have to write. Then statement of invention, clear words. What is your invention? Sustained release tablet of diclofenac, 10 mg or 10 mg, 20 mg, 50. It is not 10 mg, yeah? It is either 50 or 100. It is 100 mg. Let me make it very correct. So statement should be written. Roll number 12, we'll take the questions at the end. Thank you. So detailed description of the invention with respect to drawings. Okay, that is to be there. That means your figures, graphs, flow sheets. Then working examples of the best method of invention, you have to write. Then claims for the legal monopoly. And at the last, there is abstract. One brief, what you can say is paragraph about your patent. Okay. So This is overall structural backbone of any patent, complete specification, application. So these are the core areas under which you have to write the information. Okay. So title, field background, use, prior art, comparison, object, summary, statement, detailed description, working example, claims and abstracts. So now opposition. Somebody may raise a opposition. So pre-grant opposition and post-grant opposition. So pre-grant opposition, you can do it within the 6 months of date of publication. Even post-grant opposition, after granting the patent also, you can oppose that patent. So now what are the conditions in which the patent is opposed? Patent is wrongfully obtained. Intention is obvious, invention is obvious to person skilled. Hota, jhuta. What you can say is only fabricated patent data. Claims do not relate with the invention and the best mode is not disclosed. All these 4 lines are very important. On the basis of these 4 points, you can oppose the patent anytime. So what is the fee? This is one more important slide for all of us. So if you are, see, for 30 pages with 10 claims, this is the basic requirement. 30 pages, max 30 pages and maximum of 10 claims. For individual person, the filing fee is 1000 rupees. But if the company is filing the same patent, it will take 4000. Every fee is 4 times for the company. Legal entity means companies, firms, organizations, and individual means person. For each additional sheet, so you have to write the patent very precisely. 31 page, you have to add 100 rupees. One additional claim, you have to go for 200 rupees additional. Okay. So, and then if you submit the request for examination, 2500 rupees for you. For legal entity, 10,000. Request for early publication, 2500. For company, 10,000. And renewal, see the renewal. First year is okay. Second to 6th year, 500 rupees. 7th to 10th year, 1500 rupees. 11 to 15th year, 3000. And 16 to 20th year, 5000 per year. So to maintain the patent itself is a commercial way, or what you can say is a very costly affair. Okay. So now this is the flow chart. Before discussing this flow chart, I will let you know. Right now, last 3 years, there are modifications. 3 years. Yes, of course. Last 3 years, there are slight modifications. Now, government has changed the strategy, and now government is more pro, what you can say, towards the researchers. So, previously, from submission to grant, it was 3.5 years period. Now, government has made it simple. Even within 2 years, you can get the patent granted. Okay, but this is a classical sheet which I will explain. If you submit the provisional patent application filing, within 12 months you have to submit the complete application. That means full text. That will take another 18 months to get published. For 18 months, it will be published. After publication, within 48 months, there will be request for examination from your side. That means from our side. Within 6 months, first examination report will come. FER, short form. Please keep this thing in mind. FER, first examination report. Once that report comes to you, you have to submit a compliance. That means there will be some questions. You have to justify. You have to answer that questions and you have to submit that. If the grant office gets that clear, that means they understand, yes, whatever explanation is given is correct, say they will directly grant the patent. Okay. If not, they will say send the second examination report. Then again, you have to submit the reply to the second examination report, compliance. If compliance is okay, that will be in grant. If not, then there will be hearing. Hearing means court-like. So there will be one, at one end, there will be patent attorney. At another end, you will be there, or your power of attorney person, those legal entities to whom you form 26. If you submit the form 26, if somebody is defending your patent, he or she will be there. And then there will be hearing, cross questioning. And based on that, they will seek the compliance. And once it is complied, then patent will be granted. If not, then there will be direct rejection. Okay. So at the last, it will be something like granted, patented. So what it looks like, this is how it looks like. The final sheet. So it is very important. This is only certificate. Basically, all of us, it's a misunderstanding. Although this is a good document, this is a certificate, but the most important part is not this certificate. The legal claims for the business that are granted to you through this certificate. And in this certificate, you have to read 3-4 different things. One is patent number. Once patent is granted, then just by using the patent number, you can track down all the information of the patent. Even application number is important. You can get the date of filing and patentee to whom it has been assigned. Okay, so this is the last part. Now we'll move towards patent database search. So we last 20 minutes are there. So why patent database? Database search, why it is needed? So database search is needed basically, see, for any invention, whenever you get the idea, whether that invention has been already there in the market or not, how you are going to justify, how you are going to verify it? Go through databases. That is first part. Second, if you need some technical background for this invention, technical support, from where you will get it? You will get it from database. So database is again very important. So that means from the genesis of your invention to the grant, what you need is database. Now, yes, database is needed, but how to search it? That is more important, because it is something like C, world of C, where it is a bit piece of information, how to track it. So search engines should be very powerful. So what are those search engines? See, these are the search engines. So left side, images, music, videos, health, shopping, local, cooking, finance, jobs. This is generic slide. I made it just to make you understand. Now, if you want to know about the cooking, just go through these all 4-5 different sites, cooks.com, Epicurious. So that will help you to track the cooking information. For shopping, yes, next tag is there, Yahoo Shopping is there, Shopzilla is there. So this is the classical, what you can say, few, not every. I cannot cover every search engines, but few important search engines I covered according to category. So this kind of category wise search engine databases are already available. You have to go to particular search engine and you have to track the information. So now for us, technical science and technology people, they will prefer PubMed. Those who are from science and technology, they will understand very well. National Library of Medicine is there. Then SimilarWeb is there. Website ranking is there. So there you can get the data. Now those who are core into patent and core research. So USPTO, US Patent Office database is there. So this is the site where you can find out the data. Then this is Indian Patent Database Search Engine, Indian Patent Office, where you can go into this Copyright Office and IPA, International Cooperation, Comprehensive e-filing, public search, dynamic utilities. One more slide will be there. Yes, patent search. So comprehensive e-filing is there. So online processes are there. So you can go for e-filing of your patent, copyright, trademark, designs, geographical indications, left side comprehensive e-filing. And for search, those things which we are discussing about database search, public search is there. So there you can search either in patents, trademarks, designs, electronic register. So this site is so user friendly. Just go through it, just click on the right tab and you will get the good information out of it. Okay. So now database search, how basically, one more classical example. So left side, there is different search options, fields. So you can search the patent by using application date, title, abstract, complete specification, application number, patent number, applicant name, applicant country, inventor name, inventor country, filing office. So PCT application number. So there are so many criteria. It is INPASS, Indian Patent Advanced Search System. This is short form for this INPASS. Okay. So you can track the patent data information from it. So once you track it, how it looks like. So this is my own patent database information. So once you search it, this will be look like, and then at the last, you will get the status. Patent number is there, filed, published, archived, then under examination disposed, e-register, orders and view documents. You click the view documents, all the data of this patent number 380641 will come down in an orderly manner. Just go through it. Every form will be available in the view documents. So just go through it so you will get the idea. Okay. So for everybody, it is an open source engine where you can search the patents and you can get the information about the patents. So now little bit for copyrights. For copyrights, this is again a search engine. It is available in InPass only. One more way I will just shift it from, yes. So copyright. So same is the procedure for the copyrights also. Only thing is for copyrights, what you can add is music, drama, and literary work, artistic work. So there are formats. If you want to add artistic work, so PDF or JPG format is needed. For music, sound recording up to 3 MB, MP3 format, not total. MP3 format is mandatory to upload. And for literary dramatic music software, it should be in a PDF format less than 10 MB. So these are the basic requirements. You can use this login window. Left side, you can create the ID, password, go inside that, and then you will, this system will guide you properly. Step by step, you can search it and you can fill the information and go ahead. So I wrote it, actually it's a screenshot. Click on to new user menu. Okay. Click on the online copyright registration form. Then copyright form 14. You have to fill that form. There are steps, signature. You have to scan the signature, put it there, fill up the statement of particulars, fill up the statement of further particulars and make payment through internal payment gateway. So copyright office. So you can find out this window in the InPass also. Okay. So at the last, this is last slide. So next 15 minutes or more. So this is a commercial slide from my side. I belong to Department of Chemical Technology, basically, UD Dr. Bamu. So we do have some analytical equipment, some assays, which we offer on the commercial basis from the university side. So HPLC, LCMS, GCMS, ELISA plate reader, UV visible spectrophotometer services are available. Those who are interested, they can avail the services. Then antioxidant assays, isolation of pure phytochemicals, formulation development, analytical method development and validation. These kind of services are offered through Center for DMPK Studies, UD Dr. Babu. This is the official center of university which caters these services. So those who are interested from ISNT background or somebody else who wish to avail these facilities, they can contact me. So these are my email IDs. Sachin@bhusari@gmail.com and sbhusari.chemtech@bamu.ac.in. So last 15 minutes are there. So this is all from my side for the first session. So those who are interested to ask, I will try my best to answer to the best of my knowledge. So if you want some clarification, if you want to ask some queries, session is free for discussion. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hi, madam. Yes.
I have a doubt regarding review of literature because I'm interested to publish a patent related to some agriculture pricing,
Okay.
and I'm not aware if there are previously already some published patent regarding that same subject. So how can I review the literature regarding
Okay.
that data?
Correct. So for this, if you are in patent affair, na ma'am, to simply search the patents only. So I will go back to few slides back, and this is particular search engine that you must search. Here, patent search, database search, patent. So here, all types of patents you will get it. Now question is how to dig out the correct information. So try to formulate keywords in such a way that you can put it in patent search and that patent will be displayed. So you have to search in the patent public search. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So for you, Google data will not help you. Even other database will not help you. What database will help you is only patent search, and it should be in InPass, Indian Patent Search Engine. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this. Just type Indian Patent Office. Yeah, it will show.
Yes, sir. Sir, this is a very basic question, but actually, I am new in a patent.
Ask any question. No problem, ma'am. I am here to answer. Vichara.
The doubt is, like, I am not that much aware about the procedure. मराठीत प्रश्न विचारला तर चालेल?
Of course. Vichara.
ओके सर, तर प्रश्न असा आहे की आता समजा ऍज अ असिस्टंट प्रोफेसर तुम्ही जेव्हा जॉईन होता, तुम्हाला माहितच नाही की ही गोष्ट पेटंटसाठी जाईल की नाही. म्हणजे कदाचित हा खूप बेसिक क्वेश्चन असेल, पण बऱ्याच वेळा असं होतं की समजा आता मी माझं पीएचडीचं वर्क करताना मी तुम्हाला जसं बोललं की ऍग्रिकल्चर प्राइसिंगवर मला पेटंट करायचं, पण मला माहितच नाही की ते पेटंटमध्ये जाईल की नाही. तर बऱ्याच वेळा असं होतं की पेटंट करायचंय, सगळे म्हणतात की पेटंट चांगलं आहे, पण कसं करायचं, त्याचे जो बेस डेटा आहे तेच जमत नाहीये.
Okay. So what she's asking is actually question is divided into two portions. One is she is trying to understand whether my work is patentable or not. That is half portion of the question, and remaining is another. So for first portion, I will answer. First of all, check the patentability. So there are three criterias: whether you have something novel with you, or it will have inventive step and industrial applications. So based on these three questions, you can understand whether your work is patentable or not. That is first part. Second part, how to search the correct data. So for search engine, the classical search engine for Indian patent is Indian Patent Office site. So you click the patents. So now question again comes in mind. Just like in Google, we put some keywords, typical keywords, and then we try to track the correct information. For patents also you have to coin, that means you have to design some keywords. तुमच्याशी रिलेटेड जे आहे ना, ऍग्रिकल्चर प्राइसिंग थोडं काम सांगता का एका मिनिटात काय आहे एक्झॅक्टली?
सर माझं आपली जी FRP आहे, फेअर अँड रेम्युनरेटिव्ह प्राइस, त्याचा आणि इन्फ्लेशन इंडेक्सचा अभ्यास आहे.
ओके ओके ओके. त्याच्यात काही मॉडेल वगैरे बनवलंय का तुम्ही?
हो सर, मॉडेल बनवलेलं आहे.
ओके.
स्ट्रक्चरल इक्वेशन मॉडेलिंग थ्रू मॉडेल बनवलेलं आहे. ते
ओके.
माझ्या थेसिस मध्ये इन्क्लूड आहे, पण मला ऍक्च्युली इन्फ्लेशन इंडेक्स आणि FRP मध्ये जो इन्फ्लेशन इंडेक्स होता, तो मी आता बऱ्याच वेळा प्रश्न पडतो की कोणता इन्फ्लेशन इंडेक्स घ्यायचा, होलसेल घेतला की रिटेल घेतला, तर मी स्वतः FRP शी कनेक्टेड जो प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट आहे त्याचा मी इनपुट बेस्ड कॉस्ट इंडेक्स क्रिएट केला स्वतःचा. तर मला असं म्हणत होतं की ते डिझाईन मध्ये वगैरे टाकता येईल का?
तिथं अवघड होईल मॅडम पेटंटिंगला, कारण काय तुम्हाला सांगतो, इंडस्ट्रियल ऍप्लिकेबिलिटी बघितली जाते पहिला पार्ट. काय?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Both of you can either speak Hindi or if you
Of course. Sorry. Extremely sorry. So that's
not at
the
all, sir.
reason.
My
Of course.
apologies, sir.
No. You are rightly said. What she was trying to understand is actually whether she can go for patenting or not. Ma'am, it will be a bit difficult for you to get a patent, but copyright you can get it. You can format it. You can actually formulate a good book and you can take a copyright for it, because that information will be used as a educational information by so many researchers. So I think that would be a right way for you. For patents, it will be a bit difficult, because in patents it is not a design or structural patent. You cannot do it. Basically you have to go for conventional patenting, and in conventional patenting they will directly ask you about the net outcome which is industrially applicable. What is the industrial applicability? Okay, so bit my knowledge says that it will be bit difficult for you, bit difficult.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Yes, anybody else? Okay, so if there are no questions, so we'll take a short break of 10 minutes, and once again we'll get together, come together for the next session. Is it okay?
All right, sir. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. After 10 minutes we'll gather once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon once again. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is everybody back in the session? I hope so. Okay. So without wasting much time, let us start for this second session. So for this second session, just a minute. Okay. So for this second session, I have purposely kept one generic topic, basically. It's a human health journey from past to future. So just by looking towards the heading, you will you may feel that it is something like evolution and something. No, it is not like that. Basically, some of the technical part will be there in this session related to human health. And again, this will be more close to everybody's heart because we all expects that a good health should be a part of our life. And for that good health, what we need is to understand clearly the health first. What is health? What are the definitions? Thank you. Okay, so that way, this session will help you all. Some of the practical implications will be there in this session that will be directly linked to everybody's life. So again, it will be very informative for you, all of you. Okay, so it's a human health journey from past to future. This is a second lecture for this 17th faculty induction program. Okay, so what is the scope of the presentation? So my presentation will cover health issues, various stages of diseases as per Ayurveda, various stages as per allopathy, then diagnostic methods as per Ayurveda as well as allopathy, diagnostic method details, diagnostic test, POC devices, API, process of drug discovery and development, advances, and future of drug discovery. Finally, a summary. So overall, it will give you the glimpses of what was the clear understanding about the health in past as far as Ayurveda as well as allopathy is concerned. Then what are the diagnostic methods for both these pathies? Then the advanced drug development, discovery and development process. Because lot many times I understood that the person who is not from S&T, especially non-pharma background, may not be able to correlate the physicochemical constants which come out from the human health and the diagnostics, how these figures are indicating something which everyone should actually look into. So this is a combination of this presentation is combination of both allopathy Ayurveda plus latest trends in drug discovery and development. So this is the entire canvas of today's presentation. So now the first part, which is important, that comes in mind, that when we talk about health, so first of all, it is necessary to understand what is the meaning of health. What is health? So health you can define by yourself, but there should be some authority which should give us the guidelines, correct? So the topmost authority in the world related to the health is WHO, World Health Organization. Besides that, as far as India is concerned, we trust more on Ayurveda, allopathy as well as homeopathy. So Ayurveda is our prime concern. So again, Ayurveda. So first, WHO, what it says about the health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So it's a complete well-being at three different levels: physical, mental, and social. This is a global definition by the WHO regarding health. Okay. Now, when we talk about Ayurveda, so Ayurveda says something else. It's very particular about say fragmental. So good health is a state of equilibrium. It is equilibrium of the three doshas. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So let me explain basically. So these are the three doshas which are actually present in our body. Maybe magnitude of one of the doshas may be high in somebody and less in somebody. Okay. So what we need is complete equilibrium of this Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So good health is identified if there is a perfect balance between Vata, Pitta, Kapha. No single dosh. That means out of these three doshas, you can call it as in Hindi three dosha. So no single dosha is having a higher magnitude. That is first part. And second, where the mind and all the organs of the body work in harmony and the person enjoys peace and happiness and performs his her duty of life with comfort and ease. The second portion is very important. Not only the balancing of the doshas is needed, but the mind and the organs should work in harmony. Lot many times it happens that mind says something else, but body cannot cope up with the situation. So that is something like ill health. Okay. So Ayurveda clearly states that it is not between balancing between the doshas, but beyond that, your mind and all organs should work in harmony, in a what you can synchronized way. And it talks about the outcome also. The person should enjoy peace and happiness and should be able to perform the daily duty of life with comfort and ease. See the clarity in the definition. I purposely kept WHO definition and Ayurveda definition on one slide. So very remarkably, Ayurveda said something about health. So dosha balancing, that is one part. Mind and body or organ or harmonization, that is second part. And the outcomes, your peace and happiness, that is the third part. I hope I made you clear. Now, beyond that, apart from your WHO or Ayurveda, we do believe in naturopathy and homeopathy also. So, what naturopathy says about the health? What homeopathy says about the health? See, so naturopathy, it talks about 5 elements that guides the body. The 5 elements that guides the body are normal. That means in proportion, normal, and are in harmony. And if a body is functioning according to the constructive principles of nature. That is a definition of naturopathy of the health. And for homeopathy, health is considered as mental, physical, and emotional well-being, which little bit matches with WHO, mental, physical, okay, and emotional well-being. So at all three levels, mentally, physically, and emotionally, if you are well, then you are healthy. So these are the 4 classical definitions of the health by different paths, which are related to our daily day-to-day life. Okay. So now, once we understand about the health, yes, there are technical word definitions for the health. Then how to indicate or how to identify what are the markers for this good health. Correct. When we understand the health, now it is time to understand the markers of the health. So you see, health indicators. It's again general information. Most of the slides will have at the bottom line the source of the information. And of course, I took it from various sources. And most of the sources I mentioned on the slide, that is a standard practice. The information that I took it from different sources, I should mention it on my presentation slides. So if somebody is interested, they can track down the information just by going through the websites or web pages of the references. So now, health indicators. So now, how do I define my health, whether it is good, bad? So there are some indicators that is what you can say is scale. So these are the indicators. The first indicator, life expectancy at birth. Infant mortality rate, neonatal mortality rate, maternal mortality ratio, then mortality from serious diseases, and activities of daily living. Few of them I'm going to explain because there is a scale system. So one should understand life expectancy at birth. So it is something like number of years a newborn is expected to live based on current mortality trends. So just at the birth itself, we can understand this baby is going to survive for how much period. Just it is a combined concrete measurement. Okay, it is not accurate. It is a scale system. Just by understanding the current mortality trends, we can expect that this newborn may expect to live up to this period. So this is a statistical data which is calculated by every government agency. Okay. So second is infant mortality rate. Infant means children under 1 year. Okay. So number of infant deaths per 1000 live births. That is infant mortality rate. Similarly, neonatal mortality rate can be calculated. Neonates means the babies who are less than 28 days. So number of newborn deaths per 1000 births. So that is neonatal mortality rate. And maternal mortality ratio. It is not rate now. It is a ratio. Number of women who die due to pregnancy or birth complications per 1 lakh births in year. So this kind of statistical data every country used to measure because it defines the overall health of the population of that country. Okay. So these trends, these rates, these indicators are very important. One side we talk about the progress, one side we talk about science and technology, but these are the real pictures which talks about the health of the population. That is different story. How much you advance yourself in the science and technology and inventions and all those stuff. Side by side, your country or our population must have healthy atmosphere. Health should be there. So who will define the health? So these indicators will give us the idea about the overall health of the country. Cancer incidence, diabetes incidence, depression, disability, adjusted life years. These are another parameters. I will talk about activities of daily living, a measurement of ability to self-sustain based on ability to perform daily activities such as dressing, feeding, and grooming. This is one of the important factor because this activity indicator is very important because it will tell you about the overall state of the population. If somebody is having ability to do his or her own natural duties, activities, so that will be indicated by these activities of daily living. So these are the health indicators which are this information is technically available everywhere. I'm just gathering it and just putting it around so that you can get the idea. Okay. So now, once we understand health, once we understand health indicators, then it is a time to talk about health issues. So little bit, not in detail. It is not possible to cover everything in one lecture, but yes, just overall idea for everybody. So health issues. So whenever we discuss about the health issues, so there are three technical terms which we abruptly or we frequently used. Even some of the terms we use it, but we do not understand exact meaning. Disease, disorder, and syndrome. So most of the time we talk about disease, not even disorder and syndrome. Okay. So rarely we talk about the syndrome. The reason is very clear. For diseases, when we talk about disease, it is having a known origin. That means the pathophysiology of that particular event is known. Tuberculosis is a disease, TB, because we know it is tubercular bacilli, which infects the lungs, actually bronchial tubes, and there is inflammation. Okay, so this is disease. Second term is disorder. Disorder is disorganized physiological functions. The mix, it may be known or unknown, but there is disorder means mismanagement between the physiological functioning of the body. And the third term which we use, syndrome. Syndrome, typically the origin or the reason behind this is typically unknown. So those things or those symptoms where we do not know the basic reason, causative agent, so that goes into syndrome. No? So it is something like disease, disorder, and syndrome. So for disease, we know the background because basically it is from known background. Pathophysiology is known. For syndromes, it is difficult to identify. That is first. Now let us come to health issues at levels, different levels. So this disease, disorder, syndrome, this is allopathic side where you can understand very well. Now, physical, mental, and social. These are the three different levels at which health is to be assessed. So health issues may be at three different levels: physical, mental, and social. How it is? When you talk about the physical health issues, that means health issues related to your organ, bones, and muscles. When it comes to mental health issues, that means it is anxiety, depression, stress. These are the indicators. And when it comes to social health issues, that means social integration, friendship, and relations. There are so many people in the world who have these social health issues. I have seen people who are afraid to travel in the bus. I have seen people who are afraid to travel in the aeroplane, even railways. Reason being, somebody will come, somebody will actually snatch my luggage, somebody will cheat me, somebody will grab my money. So, unseen phobia. So that comes under this even social health issues also, mental as well as social. It is mental partly and it is social also. Okay, so it is thin line between physical, mental, and social, especially mental and social. So at the three different levels, health issues can be addressed at the physical level, at the mental level, at the social level. So now, after these health issues, one should understand first the body, human body, because whenever we discuss about any health indicators or health issues, this is all related to human body, correct? So for this, one should understand about the human body, how it is basically, what it is, a general overview. So as far as Ayurveda is concerned, for this human body, the concept is very clear. It is Sapta Dhatu, seven tissues. Seven tissues. It's a combination of seven tissues. So what are those? Slide clearly indicates it. First is Rasa, Rakta, Masa, Meda, Asthi, Majja, Shukra. These terminologies are typically in Hindis, but their English meaning, or what you can say correlation terms, are written over there. Rasa, that is tissue fluids. Rasa. Then Rakta, that means blood. Connective. Blood is also connective tissue. Everybody knows it very well. It is a connective tissue, blood. Although it is flowing, but it is a connective tissue. Third is Masa, that means muscles. Fourth is Meda, that means fat and connective tissues. Different connective tissues. Then Asti, that means bone tissue, bone. Majja, bone marrow, and Shukra, reproductive system. So seven tissues, that means Saptadhatus, and the perfect balancing between all these, it comprises a total human body. Okay, so source is written over there. You can track down the information. So every issue I have taken it at both the scales, Ayurveda as well as allopathy. Okay, so some of the parts of the health and health issues can be better understood by using the allopathy concept. Some of the portions you can better understand by using Ayurveda concepts. It is day-to-day life. You can correlate your symptoms and you can try to figure it out. Okay. So now next part of this, if there is a persistent disease condition in any human body, so what Ayurveda says about this disease condition? Now we are going to discuss about only about disease, not disorder, not syndrome. Okay, so this presentation will be limited to disease only. It's a huge compass, so cannot cover everything. So now we are talking about the health issues. So in health issues, disease is the one part where what Ayurveda says about the disease. So just recall your definition of health in health as per Ayurveda. So Ayurveda clearly states that there is a perfect harmony between or the balancing between Vata, Pitta, Kapha, three dosha. Correct. So if there is imbalancing between Vata, Pitta, Kapha, then there is something like triggering of disease. There is something like precipitation of disease. Triggering precipitation, don't take the literal meaning, just try to understand ooze out, or what you can say is it initiates. Okay. So I am a person of simply SNT, science and technology. I do not have this kind of core competencies, but I have explanatory power, so I can correlate the things very well. So I will take the advantage of both. Okay, some of our traditional knowledge and some of our non-conventional latest knowledge, and just to make you understand how these correlations are there. So Vata, Pitta, Kapha, if there is imbalance between these three doshas, then there is an initiation or there is a disease. So stages of the disease are there. So Ayurveda clearly actually identifies how there is a progression of disease. But now, before going into this, first of all, question comes in mind, sir, you are talking since too long about Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So what are the natural sites of this dosha? Three dosha. These are the three different doshas. So what is the ideal site? So when you talk about Vata, the native site means localization. That means area is colon, pelvis, pelvic organs, besides thighs, skin, ear, nervous system and lungs. These are the natural sites of Vata. That means this dosh is highly or profound or highly present, no? Or its natural occurrence will be in these regions. So deep-seated organs, muscles. Okay. Now, partly, also skin, ears, nervous system, lungs, colon, pelvis. Now, when you talk about kapha, so the natural site is bones, muscles, and tendon. In our case, we understand kapha is only a sputum that we throw out. Okay. But in technical term, my meaning, it is not only limited to sputum. That let me make you very clear. So kapha, the natural site of sitting is bones, muscles, and tendons. That is kapha as a dosha. I am talking about dosha, three dosha. And third is pitta, third dosh that resides in small intestine, stomach, liver, spleen, gallbladder, blood, sweat glands, subcutaneous fat, eyes, and skin. These are the natural sitting sites of this Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And when there is imbalance between this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, then how it starts? First, one or two or three conditions may be anything. Vata, Pitta, Pitta, Kapha, or Vata Kapha, or Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Combination may be anything. It gets accumulated at one particular point in the body. Once these doshas get accumulated, there is aggravation at that level, enhancement. After accumulation, there is an enhancement level. After that, there is a dissemination. Then it starts spreading that. Again, it will leave that accumulation site and it will go to another place and again it gets localized. That means it will reside in the next location. And after localization, it will start manifesting. That means it will start showing some symptoms. And that symptoms will lead to chronicity or disruption. That means uncomfort. And while this stage, again, there will be accumulation at another site. So, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, how to understand? These three doshas basically gets accumulated at one particular region, get aggravated, then disseminate, then again go to another location, localize it, again it shows its impact, again there will be disruption in the normal functionality of the body, and again it will get accumulated at some level. So this is a disease progression, or you can say stages of the disease as far as Ayurveda is concerned. I hope I made you clear. So now, what modern pathies says about this disease progression? Up till now, human body we understood about the through the Ayurveda. Then we understand diseases, stages of the disease as per as in line with the Ayurveda. What allopathy says, correct? Because most of us we believe in allopathy. No doubt that is also good pathy because at extreme conditions, what you need is quick support, quick. Okay. So everybody does it. Everybody takes the advantage of allopathy. No doubt, it is merely good sign to control your symptoms, to treat your disease at the early stage. Yes, of course. So what allopathy says about these diseases, as far as allopathy is concerned, it actually defines internal or external stimulus. That means something like bacterial or fungal infection outside the body and autoimmune disease from inside the body. So internal or external factors that act as a stimulus. And that stimulus actually alters the biochemical processes in the body. So now question comes in mind, sir, what do you mean by biochemical processes? our body is made up of biochemicals. That means a chemical which are residing in biological system, and there is always constant chemical reaction which happens in the body. Every single unit of the body cell is a machinery. It generates energy, it generates waste, it takes the energy, okay, independent unit, and together it becomes muscle, bones, tissues, and something else. So stimuli will alter the biochemical process of the body, and once there is a biochemical process alteration, then there will be changes in anatomy and physiology. Anatomical and physiological changes will be there. It's very simple. You take some oily food at the night, and yeah, your sleep is not over. You go went for the sleep at 2 night, early 2 night, and early morning you got up. You will feel that stomach is basically very warm feeling will be there. You may have this sensation of vomiting also, because acid secretion early in the morning and yesterday's effect. So biochemical process, and it will lead to discomfort. It will lead to discomfort. So what are the physiological changes that occurred in this example? There is a triggering of acid release, and that actually led to discomfort, stomach irritation. And that is one of the symptoms. Heartburn may be there. Heartburn may be there. So at extreme acidity conditions, all this cycle starts from your stimulus to symptoms. And again, these symptoms may lead to another stimuli, maybe internal, maybe external. So this is a cycle as far as allopathy is concerned. So disease progression as far as allopathy is concerned. So stimulus alters the biochemical processes. It leads to changes, anatomical, physiological changes, discomfort, symptoms, and again stimuli. So now, what are the up till now what we understood is disease progression as far as through allopathy, through Ayurveda. But now question is, are there any mechanisms to identify these diseases? So disease identification mechanism in a modern era, we call it as a diagnostics. Correct? That is a separate branch which actually specifically works on this diagnostics. Diagnostics means diagnosis, what is happening, why it is happening. So diagnosis. There is excessive fever. Okay, let us say talk about example. There is excessive fever, and it is frequently getting up and down. Your body temperature is constantly getting down as well as up, and shivering is also there. So definitely now we know, because of the diagnostic methods, maybe malaria symptoms, maybe malarial infection may be there. So this is the way we diagnose, and we have database. That's why we know the symptoms. That's why we can think about it. So diagnostic methods means the methods for identification of the diseases. The first important part in the health is diagnosis. My dear colleagues, it is very important. Even our practices, we go to that doctor who is very good at diagnosis. Correct? Unless and until you diagnose it properly, there is no fun of getting medication from anybody else. So understanding the diagnosis is very important. So in Ayurveda, there are two different actually what you can say sectors of diagnostics. So diagnostic methods are there. So in Ayurveda, I'm talking about Trividh Pariksha, Trividh, threefold diagnosis, threefold diagnosis. Threefold diagnosis, that threefold diagnosis covers, it starts with actually first darshan, visualization. So patient, you see the patient first, you observe. Then you ask him the questions, prashna. And third, if necessary, sparshan. So darshan, prashna, sparshan. This may be the cycle for Trividh Pariksha as through the Ayurveda. So Ayurveda talks about threefold diagnosis through darshan, prashna, and sparshan. You go to any Ayurvedic doctor, definitely he will observe you for a time. Then he will ask some questions, and if needed, through touch, he will try to understand. Okay, so it is Trividha Pariksha, Trividh, three with different Trividh Pariksha. So in Ayurveda, apart from this Trividh Pariksha, Ayurveda has eightfold, I think, Ashtavidha, eightfold Pariksha. eightfold. See, Ashtavidh Pariksha. So threefold and eightfold. So it depends. Depending upon the severity, you have to actually go for this Ashtavidh and Trividh. In Ashtavidh Pariksha, Journal of International Journal of Phytopharmacy article is there. So good information is collected in this journal. If possible, please go through it. Good one. You will enjoy. So now Ashtavidh Pariksha. So in Ashtavidh Pariksha, micro detailing is there. Some diagnostic processes are more involved as compared to these three. So in Ashtavidh Pariksha, eightfold examination, Nadi Pariksha. You must have heard about Nadi Pariksha. There are some experts who can tell you about your even daily routine just by doing your Nadi Pariksha. Your food, what you ate in the morning. This kind of expertise are available. Now, one more information I would like to share. One of the person from, I think from Pune, he is IITian. He has that software to actually study this Nadi Pariksha. I came across one article. I think he wrote it regarding this software and Nadi Pariksha. So people are working on traditional pathies by using conventional, non-conventional advanced technologies also. Just for information, just for information. So this kind of things are also there. After Nadi Pariksha, Jiva Pariksha, tongue examination is there. Beyond that, you have Shabda Pariksha, means questioning and all. Then Sparsh Pariksha is there. Drik Pariksha, eye examination. Okay. Then Akruti Pariksha, your oral body observation, Akruti Pariksha. Then Mutra Pariksha and Mala Pariksha. These are similar to our non-conventional. Somebody is talking. Please mute your mic. Please mute. Please mute. It is disturbing. Sorry. So Nadi Pariksha, Jiva Pariksha, Shabda Pariksha. Sparsh Pariksha, Drik Pariksha, Akruti Pariksha, Mutra Pariksha, and Mala Pariksha. These are the eightfold examination methods which are available in Ayurveda.
किती झालं चांगला ना आपलं बरं येते फोन केला काय आपलं जायचं
Participants.
लीड करा गाडीकडे पाहून जा पुन्हा शोधत
Participants, mute your mic. Somebody is talking. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic.
असे परीक्षा सोडणं तुम्हाला आवडत नाही एवढं सोपं नाही आता एवढे पाच
झालं का? May I start? Okay. So, as far as allopathy is concerned, diagnostic methods are divided into these five different segments. For allopathy, we try to rely more upon these five different segments. The first segment, which all of you well aware, is cellular and chemical analysis. Cellular and chemical analysis. Second is our diagnostic imaging. We rely more upon diagnostic imaging also. Third is genetic testing. Genetic testing is a little bit untouched area. We go to genetic testing very rarely. Okay. But this arm is available in allopathy. Fourth is measurements, estimations, and fifth is physical and visual examination. So yes, of course, physical and visual examination is again the core part of allopathy. But besides that, we much rely upon cellular and chemical analysis, diagnostics, imaging, and measurements. So now we would go to this diagnostic methods, and this data I am purposely sharing with you this data because lot many times we come across the scenario situation where we should understand the technical terminologies. So for cellular and chemical analysis, what we go is you must have heard about LFT, liver function test, KFT, kidney function test. Okay, so pregnancy test, prenatal testing, syphilis testing, thoracentis, toxicological testing, urine analysis, uroscopy is also there. So amniocentesis, the most important. Second bullet, try to read it carefully regarding blood analysis. So we much rely upon blood count, blood typing, bone marrow aspirations, and all. Hemocrit is another important diagnostic analysis tool where total blood profile is created in this hemocrit, total blood profile. And generally, our most of the diseases, you can track it by doing this hemocrit and some logical testings. So cellular and chemical analysis will cover this kind of testing. Even gastric fluid analysis is needed. Okay. Those who are suffering from, say, uric acid imbalance and all. So kidney function test is again very important. I'm not a doctor, but I can correlate some of the things. If your body is persistently showing inflammation, specifically at the joint level, even facial, skin level, face or your muscle level, so you must go for your KFT, kidney function test, because most of the time urea clearance is responsible for this kind of unseen inflammations. Okay, those who are having the indigestion, those who are having the blottiness in stomach, those who are having what you can say is feeling less food eating habits, so there you should go for liver function test, LFT, liver function test. Those who are having skin diseases, regular skin infections, again LFT and KFT are the two important studies which will help you to diagnose properly. Okay, so diagnose properly. Now second part is diagnostic imaging. Now we are discussing about the allopathy. So diagnostic imaging, angiography, it is common word, everybody knows it. Nowadays it is very common because of we are suffering from serious diseases so badly. So everybody is having at least nearer and dearer who has gone under this angiography. So we try to find out the blockages in the heart by just dyes. So angiography, it is an invasive technique where we press the dye in the blood vessels and we try to see the image at the heart level and we try to find out the blockages. Where in cardiography, it is not invasive, it is non-invasive technique where we do not inject anything. We try to find out it by using simple sound waves. Okay, brain scanning is also there. Cholecystography is there. Those who are having abrupt pain at the liver level, cholecystography is mandatory because we try to find out the cysts, that means stones which are present in the gallbladder. Okay, echocardiography is there. Mammography, most of the even student level, even females, nowadays mammography becomes important because lot many times we are coming across the breast cancer conditions. We are coming across the situations where there is an initiation of the breast cancer. That means delocalized tissues which grows abruptly without stopping. So mammography is one of the way by which you can try to track it out. Okay, tomography is also there. CT, positron emission tomography is there. Ultrasound and urography is there. Ultrasound, I am going to talk about this ultrasound for a minute. It's a use of ultrasonic waves to see the anatomical changes in the deep-seated organs. Ultrasound. So specifically stomach, okay, intestine, kidney, deep-seated organs. If you want to study the structural features, so ultrasound is the right way because it is less harmful. Frequently you cannot do it, ultrasound you cannot do it frequently. Whenever necessary, as and when required, then only you should take the advantage of this diagnostic imaging. So now this slide I purposely kept over here, CT scans and MRI. So computed tomography and magnetic resonance imaging. So lot many times we come across the scene where CT scan or MRI is needed. So when and why? So in soft tissues, if you want to identify the differentiation, the MRI is the exceptional tool. It is a good tool as compared to CT scan. For bones, CT scan is good as compared to MRI. So this is basic information just for your knowledge enhancement. For contrast, CT scan will not have a high contrast as compared to MRI. Contrast means what? You can differentiate between adjacent soft tissues. So MRI has that ability to differentiate. Brain imaging, CT scan will not much help you, deep-seated, but superior visualization can be identified or can be visualized. Visualization can be obtained by MRIs. Spinal cord, again limited scope for the CT scan, but yes, MRI clear picture can be obtained by MRI. For joints, limited because it cannot actually give for joint details for joint imaging, but MRI will give you that joint imaging very nicely. That's why if you have some cervical problems, so MRI is the right tool to do it. Correct. So this is the scientific backbone. Why doctor suggests sometimes MRI, sometimes CT scan. It depends upon the localization, what you want to study. That means aspect. And based on the aspect, you have to select a correct diagnostic tool. Although it is not a duty of ours, we as a patient, but we should understand whatever is going on with our body, whether it is CT scan or MRI, we should understand why CT scan, why not MRI, why not CT scan, why MRI. So that this slide is just for information purpose. Now, for genetic testing, yes, I said complementation is there, fluorescence in situ hybridization, pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. We know DNA testing through this genetic testing, DNA testing to just match the father, mother, and siblings. So that is our understanding, but there are a lot many things beyond this in genetic testing. So now we do have techniques like LCMSMS. By using high-end LCMSMS techniques, we can find out the genetic disorders also, and that too in early case. Neonatal screening methods are there. You can take the some blood drops of newborn baby, and you can identify in near future what kind of genetic disorders this baby may face. This kind of testing is already available in the market, but the problem is the cost and the requirement. Why you want to do it, that is first part, and the cost involved. So right now it is very costly affair, but yes, in some cases, or those who can afford, they can go for this kind of genetic testing. So measurements are there. Ballistocardiography is there, electrocardiography is there, lumbar puncture, phonocardiography, semen analysis. This comes under measurement. And physical and examination, visual examination. So these are the two terms, autopsy and biopsy. Autopsy, it is sample collection and examination from the dead, and biopsy is from live. Okay, so autopsy is something else which is after death, and biopsy during your lifetime. If somebody is having, say, renal problem, say you are expecting something at the kidney level, so directly you can press a needle and you can take some of the tissues from the tissue samples from the kidney, deep-seated kidney also. You can reach out and you can take the biopsy samples. So autopsy is from dead, biopsy is from live. Bronchoscopy is there, colposcopy is there, dick test. So there are so many tests. Uroscopy is also there. Endoscopy. Somebody might have heard about endoscopy. So there is long tube with binocular and camera imaging system, and it will be passed through your mouth, and it will give you the physical and visual examination of the stomach, inside lining of the stomach. In some cases, what you need is exact, pinpointed, located information from the organ. So their endoscopy may help you. Endoscopy is quite easy and easily available and cheap technique. Only thing is you have to get exposed to some of the local anesthetics. They will spray the local anesthetics in your mouth so that there will be no what you can say reflux while passing the tube. But yes, of course, in some cases what you need is this. Some of the peptic ulcer cases, what you need is endoscopy only. Some of the cancerous cases, yes, of course. So physical and visual examination also have very important place in diagnostics. So now in diagnostic tests, most preferred tests. So this is once again a compilation from my side for all of us, including myself. Okay. So what should be the most preferred diagnostic test, or what are the preferred tests? So hemogram, blood fasting, blood sugar level, fasting and postprandial, because nowadays diabetes and BP, these are the two chronic diseases which our most of the population, Indian population, is suffering from. So sugar testing is very important, BP and all. Then urine routine analysis, lipid profile, lipid profile. I'm going to talk about that also. Creatinine, SGPT, chest X-ray is again common. Stress test nowadays. Stress test is common. Those who are having chest burn or a heartburn. So at extreme cases, even after antacids, if somebody is not getting the comfort, so stress test is preferred. So in stress test, it is electrodes which are placed on your chest, and they will try to monitor the heart activity during the stress. That means during the running. Okay. So there is treadmill on which you have to run with a specific speed based on your age and the what you can say heartburn. Okay. Vitamin B12, vitamin D3, uric acid, thyroid function test, consultation by MD physician and gynec checkup for the female. These are very common and highly preferred diagnostics because it is needed. It is mandatory. So prostate specific antigen for males, those who are having the urination problem. So definitely prostate specific antigen test is mandatory. Those who are females who are having this what you can say is vaginal infections, frequently vaginal infections, pap smear test is mandatory. So now in diagnostic test and its interpretation, few slides I kept it purposely, 3-4 slides, next 3-4 slides. So here you can see the parameters, standard values and inferences. Some of the standard values you must know, say just like BP 80-120. This is normal systolic and diastolic, healthy person. Bleeding time 1 to 4 minutes. If it crosses 4 minutes, thrombocytopenia. Blood clotting time 3 to 8 minutes. If it is delayed more than that, then it is hemophilia. Okay. So just by observing standard values and deviations from the standard values, you can go to, or you can come to inference. Hemoglobin count in males, definitely 14 to 18 is the standard value. Less than 14 in the male category definitely shows anemia. Okay. And greater than that, it is a leukemia. And by all means, even female standard value is 13 to 16 gram %. If it goes below 13, say 7, 8, I have seen the report 7, 8, highly anemic. Children 10 to 13. So RBC count 4.5 to 5.5 million per cubic mm. WBC, eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils. Okay. So I was talking about hemocrit. Blood sugar 70 to 100 mg per 100 ml. Okay. So below that, blood sugar goes, that is hypoglycemia. Glycemic sugar, Mia in the blood. MIA stands for in the blood. Okay. Hypo means low. So low sugar level in the blood. Cholesterol. It is 152 to 40 mg %. Low is 80 to 100 gram %. Above is kidney disease, heart disease, liver disease, obesity. So some of these values like blood sugar, BP, cholesterol, one must understand and one must remember also. You should be able to self-study your own report. Nowadays, there is a comparative chart and highlighting of the excessive values. So no issue, you can find it out. Now, for KFT, creatinine is the important part. If creatinine is high, low, 0.3 to 1.4 mg, it's overhydration and kidney failure. So uric acid, renin, sodium, potassium, calcium, every this KFT test is having some importance. So potassium 3.4 to 4.5 milliequivalent per liter. So if it crosses the limits, it leads to metabolic acidosis or alkalosis. That means at the body level, the pH of the body may shift towards the acidic side or alkaline side. Now question is, sir, how does it matter? My dear colleagues, a slight change in the pH will hamper the biochemical reactions, every biochemical reaction in the body. So that's why it is very hazardous. So perfect balance should be there for the pH also. And this pH balance depends upon sodium, potassium, calcium plus your sugar and all salts intake and out. Correct. So that is very important. Now LFT. In LFT, ALT and AST and ALP, these are the three markers: alanine transaminase, aspartate transaminase, and alkaline phosphatase. These three markers gives you the idea about the healthiness of your liver. Excessive units, more than 55 units of ALT, more than 48 units of AST, and more than 129 units of ALP. That leads to liver damage. That means it is a clear indication that liver is getting damaged. Okay, even heart function test, similar like renal function test, kidney function test, liver function test, there is heart function test also. So based on what? See the cholesterol level 150 to 200 mg per deciliter, LDL, HDL. There is questioning which cholesterol is good or bad. High density lipoprotein, HDL, is a good cholesterol. HDL. Try to understand, try to remember. It is opposite. High and low. High density lipoprotein, that is good cholesterol. And low density lipoprotein is a bad cholesterol. Low density lipoprotein settles inside the blood vessels very slowly, but once settled, cannot be dismantled. In high density lipoproteins, it settles quickly in the blood vessels but get dissolved quickly from the blood vessel. That is the advantage. So that is the one important criteria why it is good cholesterol. Okay, triglycerides you must know, fibrinogen. For those who are diabetic in nature, okay, so HbA1c is the test. Do you know the meaning of HbA1c? It is something like estimation of glycated hemoglobin. That means the hemoglobin, if it remains in close contact with sugar for larger duration, longer duration, then this sugar get attached to hemoglobin. Now question comes in mind, sir, what happens? Doesn't make much difference. Let the sugar get attached to hemoglobin. No, no, no. It is not like that. Hemoglobin actually, do you know the role of hemoglobin? It carries the oxygen. So oxygen carrying capacity gets hampered, and oxygen is very important for body tissues. You know it very well. So glycation is leading to hampering of the hemoglobin functioning. So what is the level? 5.7%. Okay, is the highest value for HbA1c. Beyond that, if you observe, then it is pre-diabetic up to 6.4, and above 6.4, definitely you are diabetic. Your HbA1c should be always less than 5.7. So these values you should remember. These small values. Forget about insulin, but about HbA1c, because nowadays we are suffering most for this diabetes as well as hypertension. Correct. Then pancreatic function tests are there. I'm not going to read much. Pulmonary function tests are there. Okay, lung volume, respiratory muscle. This presentation I am going to share with HRDC. Those who are interested, they can take a copy and you can use it for your reference. So diagnostic test and its interpretation, slide continues. Immunoglobulins, ammonia, cholinesterase, homocysteine, magnesium, microalbumin, pyruvate UV. Okay. So now these 3-4 slides were dedicated to values. Okay, estimations. So what are the tools basically that helps to do it? So these are point of care testing devices, POC. POC is a technical word for those who are pharma professions or medical professionals. They know it. Point of care. That means you can use these machines at the patient level. No need to go to CT scan. It is not a point of care device. Okay, you have to go to diagnostic center. But oximeter, you can be at home, you can measure it. Small devices. So it is called point of care testing devices. So digital thermometer is the classical example. Those who are having babies, they will have digital thermometer in their home always, because children are children. There will be always something like infection, then fever. So you want to discriminate between low grade fever and high grade fever. So just by touching, it becomes difficult. So digital thermometer nowadays is available and it is very cheap. Even 100 rupees is the, within 100 rupees you can get good digital thermometer. Though that you can use it for at least 6 to 7 times, 10 times. Okay. So blood glucometer is there. This typical machine is there along with the strips. You have to take a blood drop. For that also you have pen system. You can prick the finger by using pen and you can take a blood drop and you can put it on that strip and put that strip in the sugar glucometer. So directly it will read it for you. Postprandial, that means after meal. Preprandial, before meal. Okay. Fasting, that is called fasting and postprandial. Then pulse oximeter is there, blood pressure monitoring. Everybody knows how to measure the blood pressure. It is very simple. Tight at cuff side, upper arm, and then put it. The sensor should be put on the venous system. Okay, please take care of that. Then only it will measure rightly. Otherwise, if you misplace the sensor on the arm, then it will not give you the correct values. Okay. Then uric acid test machines are there. Cholesterol checker machine is also there. It is just like a glucometer. Then blood analyzer. Blood analyzer, partly it comes under POC. Okay, ECG. Nowadays we do have modular small setups of ECG. So you can take it from one place to another. It is called portable, movable. So that's why it comes under POC. These are the large machines, but you can handle it, you can move it, and you can take it to the patient level. Now, beyond machines, there are kits. So, COVID-19 rapid antigen self-test kit, it is very famous. It was very famous once upon a time, in 2021-22. That kit was very precious, which was able to detect the COVID-19. Okay, pregnancy test kit, it is again a very common, and malaria detection kit. Both these kits are frequently used by the hospitals, even by personal level, at the personal level, for diagnosing the disease conditions. So now we discuss about point of care testing manufacturers. So now it's my understanding that one should know what are the leading manufacturers of this point of care testing devices, because lot many times what happens when you go to medical shop, whatever machine is available, he will give you that machine and we'll take it. No doubt that machine will be good. It is sold by a particular medical profession, but still we should know the brands, leading brands, which are mastering in this POC testing device manufacturing. So when you talk about say something like glucometer, Dr. Moropian is the leader in glucometer. When you talk about the blood analyzer, Leica Biosystem is good. Even SD biosensors are good in COVID-19 kit. Blood gas analyzer, Siemens is very famous in that. Human body voltage checker, LTEC is there. Then cardiac maker, Weldon Biotech India Private Limited. These are few companies, leading manufacturers I listed over here just for your information purpose. Pulse oximeter, BPL Medical Technologies is good. So these are the manufacturers, leading manufacturers, which have very certified equipments. So those equipments on which results on which results you can rely upon. Okay. So now after diagnostics, now the major role come into picture is treatment. What is the treatment line? How and what way? Okay. So here these three pictures are there. So you have either oral treatment like tablet capsules or injectable in muscles, veins. Okay. This is invasive technique, injectables, parenteral route. Above left side corner is oral route, and right side there is another treatment way, surgical procedures, where if your tablet capsule or injectables are not working, then you have to go for surgical procedures. So medical treatment is basically divided into two, medicines and surgery. So that's why there are clear-cut distinctions between this medical field. One is typical, what you can say is treatment by using medicines, and second is treatment by your surgical procedures. So let's begin with this. Now we are going to discuss about the drugs and its evaluation, its genesis, what you can say is evaluation also, and screening also. So first of all, it becomes necessary to understand what is the definition of drugs. Technical term, drugs API. So question comes in mind, sir, what is API? Active pharmaceutical ingredients. API. Active pharmaceutical ingredients. Okay, just try to remember it. If not, still it's okay. But in technical words, drugs are called API, active pharmaceutical ingredients. So US FDA is the right authority because the most stringent authority in the world is US FDA. So you may ask the question, sir, what about Indian scenario? Yes, DCGI is also having a stringent compliance rules and regulations, but overall global level, if you talk about US FDA is the right authority. So US FDA defines the drug, a substance recognized by an official pharmacopoeia or formulary. Every country will have its own is having his its own official pharmacopoeia. Okay, we do have Indian pharmacopoeia. Our this system of medicine will be governed by pharmacopoeia, Indian pharmacopoeia. Okay, the substance intended for use in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease. That is another subclause of definition of API. A substance other than food intended to affect the structure or any function of the body. That is third part. And fourth is substance intended for use as a component of a medicine, but not a device or component part or accessory of a device. So legally, if you want to define the drug, so these are the 4 bullets which will explain nicely what is the legal and formal definition of the drugs API. So now for you people, what are the sources of the drugs? So there are 3 classical sources. One is synthetic. Most of us will we receive synthetic drugs just like paracetamol. Paracetamol is a very known molecule, known API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, antipyretic, analgesic. In some cases, we actually use semi-synthetic route, paclitaxel. It is from Taxol. Taxol is it's a one plant, yew tree. From that, this material has been divided, isolated, and it is chemically modified, semi-synthetic. Source is natural, and modification is done at the laboratory, paclitaxel. And one more source is there for API, purely natural, morphine. Morphine is a compound. Okay, so opium, it comes from opium. So it is purely curcumin. Curcumin, it comes from curcuma longa. Okay, eugenol, clove oil, it comes from clove oil. So natural. So India is rich of natural sources. So we use both synthetic as well as natural sources. So now the important part. We understand the definition of the drug. Then we understand about sources of the drug. Now, how actually drug discovery process happens, how the industry develops a material as a drug. So for you people, I would like to tell you that drug development process is a job of at least 15 to 16 years. That clearly means that if you start in 2020 for that particular drug discovery, you may be able to have something in your hand at 2037, 36 or 37. So 15 to 16 years is the period which needs for development of any material as a drug from chemical to API. So now this slide is very classical slide. See, there are 2 phases. One is preclinical, left side, and another is clinical phase, right side. Red one is clinical phase, which involves humans, and left is a green phase, which involves animals as a testing models. So first portion is called preclinical, and the last portion is called clinical. So now, if you look into the history or the drug development template, you'll find that it is a job of more than 50, $100 million. And the early discovery takes 2 to 5 years, which involves at least $4 million to $5 million. And development stage, it needs 5 to 10 years, and it is more than $40 million. It is all in millions, dollars in millions. And see, licensing period, it takes already 15 to 16 years for you to get approved the molecule as a drug. So if you see the attrition rate, if you start with 60%, only 10% material will reach to final stage. So attrition rate is too high. And how it happens? So first of all, target is identified, then target is validated, then candidate has been selected, then preclinical testing in animal, rabbit, rat, mice, goat, sheep, dogs, beagle dogs and all. BP the materials or the antihypertensive drugs are tested in beagle dogs. Beagle is one form of the dogs. Basically, form means species of the dogs. who's having a similar structure. What you can see is cardiovascular structure. So antihypertensives are tested on the bigger dogs. Okay, and beyond that, once the drugs is found to be safe in the preclinical stages, then it is allowed to test in the humans. Okay, so this is drug development and discovery and development process. Okay, so the cost is in millions. So now when it comes to humans, so there are phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. In phase 1, the healthy human volunteers are used and drug is tested on the healthy human volunteer. In phase 2, to find out the proof of concept, restricted or limited patients are selected for the testing. And in phase 3, the testing is done on the patients only, but at multi-center. Multi-center means at the different corners of the country, the drug will be tested for the effectiveness. And phase 4 is always there. Once the drug enters in the market as a molecule, then there will be surveillance. There will be surveillance. Have you heard about one case? One of the molecule, nimesulide, which was launched by the US government as a potent analgesic. US banned that molecule and withdraw that molecule in the US market, from the US market, because that molecule actually has a ability to actually damage the liver. So US actually banned that molecule. But in India, nimesulide is highest selling drug, because we haven't actually focused on that liver damage properties of nimesulide. So be careful about the drugs if you are using any OTC drug, over the counter drugs. So now let us see the advances in the drug discovery and development. So in drug discovery and development, it is not the computers. It is not about the artificial intelligence, but it is the combination of mind and machines. So in drug discovery and development, so now we are effectively using AI, computers, and mind and machines together, so that we can speed up the drug discovery and development process. Now you tell me, if the drug is taking 16 years, 15 years to get developed, then it will be very challenging. In COVID-19 period, we developed the vaccine within 6 months. Now there is a special provision in the act that in some cases like this life-threatening situations, you can accelerate the drug discovery and development process, and that is legally actually, what you can say is authorized, legally authorized. So that's why we got the COVID vaccine during that lethal period, damaging period, correct? So nowadays drug discovery development process is a combination of computer, artificial intelligence, and mind and machines. So mind and machines, this is the classical image basically, where you will find that not only our thought process, but we are actually combining machines also and our mind to expedite the process in the drug discovery. It is very simple example I am going to tell you. If I want to test one molecule in the cell line, so if I am alone analyst, so I can do 40, 50 or 100 molecules per day. If I use a machine, that machine will screen 1,000 molecules in a day, 10,000 molecules in a day. Robotic arms are there. So our intelligence and the ability of the machines, if we combine together, then the process will be expedited. That means you can save the time, and the most important and the wealthy part of our life is time only. So you have to save the time. So here the combination of mind and machine will help, actually rather helps in drug discovery in such a way that where we can now expedite the drug development process. So now one more part, computers in drug discovery. The beautiful part, actually computers are playing major role in drug discovery, because now we are substituting the in vitro testing by using softwares. So most of the testing we can use the in silico models, and there itself we can eliminate, say out of 10,000 compounds, if I want to test the 10,000 compounds in the animal model, see the number of animals that I will require. So now we do have computer programs where I can use the structures of the 10,000 molecules, and we can use that computer as a testing tool. So out of 10,000, I am clearly getting the idea that only 100 compounds are active. So only that 100 compounds I am going to test it in the animal models. So this kind of roles of the computers are now in the drug discovery. Now AI, how AI is playing a vital role in the drug discovery. So de novo design, drug target interactions, drug target binding affinity, and target structure prediction. So these are the four quadrants, and you can see left and top. If you have a molecule, you combine this with AI technique. So candidate drug will be predicted by the AI tools and techniques. So you can find out the candidate drugs. Okay. Even targets and drugs, if you encode it, give it to AI will directly compute it and it will give you the results. How many molecules are getting fitted in the particular target? Even if you give the sequence to the AI technique, it will predict the structure for you. So AI is playing a major role. Now we do have target and drug molecules, encode it, put it in AI techniques. So it will find out the affinity, how much a particular molecule is getting bind to that particular target, because there is a lock key model. Okay, any material, it goes to receptor, it starts triggering its effect, but it is possible only when that molecule will get fitted into that receptor tightly. So binding affinity. So AI will help you to find out the binding affinities also by using computers. Of course, AI along with computers, this is the combination. Means hardware plus software plus thinking ability. Okay. Now, AI in drug discovery. See, in drug discovery, this is one of the classical slides. You start with 10,000 compounds, 5,000 to 10,000 compounds. At the last, at phase 4, the approved drug will be only once, pharmacovigilance. Through pharmacovigilance, only one drug will get chance to get approved. See the attrition rate. Why? Because there are so many stages. At every stage, there is a tight check whether this compound qualifies the criteria or not. Now, how AI is helping here? So, if we use AI, identification of new targets is quite possible. Nowadays, drug discovery process is not random. First, we decide the target. That means if I want to develop a molecule for cancer, then the first stage is I have to select a particular cancer, maybe pancreatic cancer, maybe colon cancer. Then I have to find out the targets, what receptors are present there. And based on that, I have to design compounds which can get fitted into that receptor and that can trigger the activity. This is simplest way of explaining drug binding affinity. Okay. So AI will help you there, prediction of new compounds through in silico. Now, compound, not only you have to synthesize the compound, but properties of the compound, ADMET, physicochemical properties. That is favorable properties of the molecule. For example, your compound is active, but it is not soluble in water. Then you cannot take it with glass of water, because all medicines we take it along with one glass of water, because technically water is the ideal medium to dissolve the material. Not tea, not coffee, not soda, not Coca-Cola. Some of the people used to take the medicine along with tea and coffee. It is not, you are not supposed to, because it will not get dissolved. It is a thick media as compared to water. So ideally 60 ml or 90 ml water is the correct measurement for one single tablet, small tablet. Okay. So plenty of water, you can take as much as possible, but one glass, full glass of water is necessary to dissolve the medicine. Okay. So prediction toxicity is quite possible by using AI. It is a stage 2, and is stage 3. Repurposing is also there. A molecule which is active in one disease may be active in another disease. So that also you can study. Regulatory phase is there. So stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Once all these stages are complete, then the remaining material will enter in the market as a medicine. And it is out of 10,000 compound, there are chances that only one compound may enter in the market as a drug. Now, what is the future? What is the future of the drug discovery? Because this is also a very important slide. Now it is networking. So what generally now every medicine developers, or what you can say pharma industries are doing, they are gathering the data. They are gathering the data from the reports at actual market through AI, and the data, medical doctors, labs, response services, pre-assistant medicine systems, every this data, even from actual market data, Footprints. Few more minutes. Second last slide. Just give me two more minutes. I'm going to finish it in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Just bear with 3-4 minutes. So this data is combined together in the cloud mechanism, cloud data. And even for that cloud, we have clinical database also. And it goes into medical records, population database. All knowledge is gathered, and that knowledge is subjected to deep learning, predictive analysis, translation, okay, classification, clustering, then speech to text, text to speech. These are the conversion models. Okay, so nowadays you can actually consult a doctor without taking appointment. Just on phone you can consult, you can talk to them. Why it is possible? Because now we do have a good database. He will observe your symptoms, he will match the symptoms in the database, and he will prescribe the medicine. Previously it was not the case. So this is the future of the drug development discovery. Now all the data is covered in the cloud mechanism, and the diagnosis is done on the predictive model based diagnosis is there. So it is becoming quite easy to diagnose also, and accurate also. Yes, I'm not denying that roles of the doctor is no more. No, it is not. In some cases what you need is doctors only, but in some cases at least you can replace the physical presence of any doctor in some cases. Okay, in critical cases, say ICU and all, what you need is monitoring system will be machines only, but what you need is human intelligence and the actual presence of the doctor. But yes, of course, nowadays scene is quite changing. So we are actually utilizing the machines to support us, even to machines to learn from us. Machine learning is what? Learning. Machine is learning from us, and that we are using for our comfort and prosperity. So in fast track designation, accelerator approvals, breakthrough, and priority review, I talked about this regarding actually coining one example, the COVID vaccine. So this is the classical way. In case of pandemic, like emergencies, global emergency, we can accelerate the drug development process. And yes, of course, there is paradigm shift from normal pathology in clinical chemistry biology to this. Now we do have a combination of both herbal as well as synthetic molecules, and now we are shifting. We are basically blending human intelligence with these all sources, and we are trying to make our life more comfortable. So at the last, health is one of the important aspects in the life. Health can be understood by various integrative approaches. Ill health is characterized by various diagnostic methods. Point of care devices are very important. API are support pillars for the human health management. Drug discovery development process is a systematic and planned activity. Advances in API discovery and development process are now expediting, and biologically similar component biosimilars are gaining prime importance in the recent era of API drug discovery and development. The class example is insulin. We have pure insulin which can be used directly in the human body, and the source of the human insulin is not human source. This is genetically modified. Biogenetic insulin is there. So this kind of biosimilars are in the market, and as it is, biosimilars means similar to the biological structure of our human body, they are devoid of or less toxic as compared to synthetic materials. So this is the summary. So thank you very much for bearing me for last 90 minutes. If somebody is having any questions, I will try my best to actually answer your queries. Your queries, please. Thank you. Is anybody in the session?
No queries, sir.
No queries. No issues. You can ask the queries. If you have any queries, you can ask the queries. Or else, my presentation is there in HRDC. You can get it. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.